This episode of Beaten Down is brought to you by ABC Dump Roll-Off Dumpster Rental. ABC Dump is a locally owned and operated company. With 11, 15, 20, and 30 cubic yard dumpsters, they have the size for every occasion. Whether you're remodeling the house, cleaning out the garage, or doing commercial construction, they have the right size for your project. With upfront pricing and easy online ordering, ABC Dump makes ordering a dumpster as simple as possible. Give them a call or text at 682-803-8031 or order online at abcdump.net. That's abcdump.net.
I guess we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Hello. Hello.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the street.
Oh, yeah. How's it going?
It's actually only 6:30. So
6:28. Close enough.
I'm also not in my drop top or cruising the street.
Don't have a drop top. You kind of, I guess the Jeep's top could come off.
I mean, I prefer when the top comes off. But if you listen to the last podcast where we talked about the Jeep, no, I don't.
No.
Jeeps are dumb.
Yeah. I don't know who would ever want one or even buy one.
Dummy. Thank you for bringing food.
Yes.
Threw it on the roller dog
Yeah,
machine.
we got some. I saw. So these were extra crunchy taco seasoned beef and cheese taquitos.
Okay.
Never seen them before.
I hadn't either.
Very good. I already ate two.
What
of
makes them extra? What makes it extra crunchy?
them.
The
You can
outside?
See, yeah, you can see there's more like.
I mean, we're using that loosely as far as
Yeah.
crunchy.
Well, that's what the box said.
You're supposed to fry them?
You can cook them anyway.
I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
What are you wrong?
And then I got some Nathan Jumbo Franks that said restaurant style.
Which I don't know what that means, but I'm in. Maybe that's Nathan Hot Dog, like their restaurant. I don't know
took
what
a
their
bite
style
of it. I
is.
can't tell you what it tastes like because it burnt my tongue. And then we have some regular jalapeno cheese,
Mm-hmm.
and then some red donkey dicks just in case.
That's quite a lot of food for just the two of
Yeah,
us.
I get carried away sometimes.
Yeah.
I always see things. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's
Like-
one pack, and then
I don't take my whiskey to extremes.
mm.
And, I don't believe in chasing crazy
yes,
dreams.
I know where you're going with.
My feet are planted firmly on this ground.
But when you come around,
I get carried away. Better? When it's not boiling your mouth off?
restaurant quality.
Oh, of course it is.
Said it on the package.
So we got a little feedback.
Ooh.
I got a couple different feedbacks from for the last few recent episodes. Maybe it was forever. I don't know. But I got feedback. One was from your daughter. And actually you gave it to me.
Yeah.
And what was it?
She was pissed. Tell Daniel I'm mad because he didn't release a video with the last recording. Because now she's hooked. We've done it twice.
Mm-hmm.
She's hooked on the video.
Did she watch the other two that are up there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, those are old ones. Like, I think it's number 34 and
Yeah. But she
whatever else. But
she likes the videos now. So
Does she?
She's expecting a video with everyone. And I said, well, we tried.
yeah, to be honest, we tried.
It just kind of had little
what we record on was apparently out of storage. So we got it now. I think. I don't know. I emptied a bunch of storage, and
We'll find out. We'll be listening for that sound.
if we hear that sound again, we'll be like, oh, okay, no more.
All right. So what's the other feedback?
The other feedback is, and again, I don't ever know if Dave listens when he's not on.
I don't think he does.
So if he doesn't listen, cool. We'll never say this again. If he does listen, hey, Dave, this is for you. I had someone tell me, dude, who's that quiet guy that's on there? I'm like, quiet guy? What are you talking about? He goes, there's one guy that's real quiet. He'll come on, he'll say a few things here and there, but really for the most part, he just kind of sits back and like, oh, Dave. He's like, dude, he is so funny. Not that Dave, like I love Dave,
Yeah.
and he makes me laugh.
Well, somebody thinks he's real funny though.
Yeah,
Is it a woman or a man?
as a man.
Right.
Said he
you go,
was
Dave.
very good looking as
Oh,
well.
there we go. All right, Dave. Well, you got options. We'll find out. We won't say anything to him about this,
Yeah, so we'll find out real quick.
and we'll find out if he listens or not. Because it's at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not like he's got to listen
Yeah,
for
so
a long time.
He should catch it that some guy thinks you're funny and has a crush on you and wants to date.
I gave him your number, Dave, just so you know.
So
Um,
start answering phone calls, numbers that don't.
Probably going to be blocked, so so you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
People are enjoying the video. I don't know why, but sure, let them
Something
enjoy
new.
it. Yeah, I don't give a
They're
shit.
probably getting bored to death with this. So, look, they did something new.
Now we can see their dumb faces, so we can recognize them when we see them
Damn.
out.
I don't know how it's possible, but that Blake guy's even uglier what his voice sounds like.
That son of a bitch doesn't look anything like Kermit, but he sounds like him.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, good times, good times.
Yeah.
The big thing going around, the newest, hottest sensation on the streets. Do you know what that is? Where everybody's like trying to find it. It's on TikTok and posting. Help me find these. Cheetos makes a flaming hot dill pickle.
Oh, did you share a picture of that bag?
Yeah, so my kids wanted to try them. I wanted to try them as well. So I'm searching. I mean, I see it. I go to a lot of different convenience stores and stuff, and nobody had them. And then all of a sudden, I'm in Eastland, and I got told, "Hey, the Brookshires, I know they have some." And so I went there, and there were 2 bags left.
You bought both of
Bought both of them.
Flaming hot
Dill pickle.
And what'd you think? What is your?
They were good.
Yeah.
God, they were so good.
I like pretty much anything pickle.
And then I love the flaming hot.
Flaming hot, it's all right. I mean, I could.
Really? I love flaming
I
hot.
mean, it's okay. Taylor, she lives off the fries.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the hot fries.
Yeah.
They're so good.
She lives off those. So
Has she tried handicap?
yeah,
And she did or didn't like those?
she liked them, but she
Prefers
prefers the
Cheetos.
just like I guess because she grew up eating those.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up eating the handicap,
Yep.
so to me those are better.
Yep.
Um,
Tom's hot fries were good though. Like I know we always talk about the bacon cheddar,
Man.
but the hot fries were good
yeah,
too.
but the bacon cheddar ones and they stunk so bad.
Yes.
Last time I'd found some, I think at the QT in Weatherford. We'd all stopped in there, and I opened that bag, and all the girls were like,
What
"Well, I
the?
don't know about how it smells," but then when they started eating them, they were like, "Oh, these are
These smell wonderful." Yeah, so apparently it's a big thing, and like I did notice that I don't know what stores he goes to, but there's a Lay's guy, Frito-Lay guy, whatever, a delivery man in town that he posts on Facebook. Hey, just put 50 bags into this store. Come get them while I got them, or while they got them, or whatever.
I never heard of them until you sent that picture.
They're really good. Tristan's fiance brought home some Vlasic pickle cheese balls.
Ooh,
Dude, those were really good too.
I love cheese balls.
I've got told. Do you?
cheese balls. Cheese.
Not these balls.
No, not these balls. Cheese.
I was iffy on them. I love pickles though, and so I was like, let me have some of those. And I just took like 1 or 2. It was a small bag that she had, and I was like, oh, those are very good. And then she took them away, and I wanted more.
So you have to find some of them too. What's your favorite pickle?
I like anything sour. You know, they make dill pickles or whatever, but I like the sour pickles. Best made though.
Yeah, best made. We always have best made dill and sour, like a jar of each. I used to always, for a while, like those. Starts with C. They're kind of white looking. They be in like halves. They cut them in halves. I gotta find the brand of that.
Starts with a C.
Like when you buy them, they're already cold. They're kept in the refrigerator section.
Oh, Closter. I know the ones you're talking about.
I'm used to like.
Clausen. Clausen?
I'll find it. Yeah.
Is it Clausen? Yeah, those are good.
So I used to.
I say they're good. Are those like the kosher deal?
I think they're standard ones.
Well, like I'm not a fan of like kosher dill pickles. Tasha loves kosher dill pickles. I don't like them because they're not as sour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them because they're not as sour. Maybe I don't know who Vlasic or whoever does the kosher dill
Yeah.
pickles. I don't like those as much because they're not as tart.
Apparently, Nathan's Hot Dogs has a pickle.
My dad used to he'd always have bread and butter pickles in the fridge.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Ugh.
I just saw pickles.
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
bread and butter. I don't know what that is.
It's a surprise if you're not expecting it.
Yeah, and they weren't like
They were like slight. Like
they were
thick
little
slices.
thicker slices.
Yeah, I know what
like
you're talking
chunks or whatever.
about. My grandpa would always say, "Wow."
And what I would do is I always took a fork, shoved it in there, and whatever came out, that's what I'm putting in my mouth. You know, could be 3, could be 7.
Shocking. Whatever comes out, you put in your mouth.
Yeah, it could be 3, could be 7, could be the whole
So
bottle.
you
I don't
liked
know.
them?
I shoved and only one came out. Thank God.
Okay.
I
so
put it in my mouth
ugh.
and took one. I was like, well, what the fuck is this? And spit it
Yeah.
out.
Wow.
I don't know what that is. I used to also not like relish because the relish I always had was
Would be
sweet relish
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I don't like sweet pickles, so I'm.
I don't either. But then I found out, they make
Yeah.
dill pickle relish,
Yeah.
which is just chopped
yeah,
up
the
dill.
Sweet. That's why they're bread and butter.
No, I don't know what. I don't even know why they're called bread and butter pickles. I guess because you put them on bread with butter. I don't know.
Based the
My dad loved them though. I don't,
Yeah. A lot of old timers liked them. They'd have that and the buttermilk. My uncle loves that shit.
My granny got some fresh squeezed milk. I don't know what do you call it? Fresh? Yeah, I don't. What do you?
Fresh uddered milk.
Yeah, utterly disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But she and it was like in a big aluminum container. So I guess she got it straight from the fucking farm, 1923 or whatever. And she was like, "Hey, go get that milk out of the fridge." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I'm like, "You don't have any?" She's like, "No, that." She pulls it out. Or I pull it out and I'm like, "This?" And she's like, "Yep, that's it." And she opens it up, and it's just like frothy on top.
Ugh.
It's like a cream or whatever it is. She's like, "That's the best part," and she starts drinking that, and I'm like, "What? I don't even know what we're doing right now." Like fresh milk like that, I've never tasted it. It could be great. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I love milk, like just regular old whole. I'll drink the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Big milk. Audrey loves milk too.
What kind? Like, what do you get? Like 2% skim.
To me, the best kind is just whole vitamin D, whole milk.
Red
baby.
Label.
Don't give me
Yeah,
get
Red
that
Label.
Fucking bullshit.
2%.
As what's his name says from Parks and Rec, the dude with the mustache.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah, he's one time he quoted. He hates skim milk because it's just water disguising itself as milk or something like that, and 1%. And he does, yeah, whole milk though. You can just tell there's, fuck, screw it. I'll take the.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly it's good fat, right? It's good
Uh-huh.
fat.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. So growing up, we always had 2% milk,
yeah. We always,
but I always loved homo milk. It's
Yeah.
what it's what's on the homo.
Yeah.
I always loved homo milk
yeah.
and homogenized. I guess or whatever.
Yeah,
Non-homogenous,
that's
whatever.
good.
Red Label. And so
Mm-hmm.
when me and Tasha got together, I'm like, "You're only buying homo milk.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want." She kept bringing these guys home, and I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
that's not what I
different
mean."
kind.
Yeah.
Let's let you the hombre.
She likes 2% though. I don't get it.
Yeah, I want give me the whole milk.
Honestly, do I really know the difference if you put 2 glasses in front of me?
You would if you were drinking it now. If you're just eating
Mix-
cereal and stuff, you're
Yeah.
good on.
Yeah, I don't know.
But another line from Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt's character Andy says when he's listing off, he makes a list of everything like emissions,
Mhm.
and one of them is I don't know where with 2% milk. I don't know what the rest 98% of the rest of it is, and I'm too afraid to ask or whatever.
What is it?
But yeah,
I always thought it was watered down. I mean, obviously it's not watered down milk, but maybe it is. Fuck, I don't know.
that's what's skim milk. I mean, it tastes like it's watered down.
I know.
Um,
Sure.
Yeah, but just give me the whole milk. We're good to go. I like cooking with buttermilk. Like if you're gonna do like make fried chicken and you marinate the
Oh yeah, you soak
chicken
it
in whole
soak it-
buttermilk
yeah.
and everything. Love that. But just drinking buttermilk just by itself.
My granny would do that as well. Drink buttermilk, and I'm like,
Ugh. My uncle loves
What do you do? Like, that's not what you do with that. I paid one of my nieces $10 to take like a double shot of buttermilk one time. I was like, here's $10 right here. And I threw it on the counter. And it took her about 15 minutes to build up the courage to actually take the shot. And when she was done, she was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. I was like, I've never tried it, so I didn't know what it tasted like. It could have been terrible. I don't know.
I love buttermilk ranch.
Buttermilk biscuits.
Mm-hmm. So anything buttermilk besides actually drinking it.
Buttermilk pancakes.
Yeah.
And like, that's the only, when I go buy pancake mix, I only buy buttermilk. You could give me a regular pancake and I wouldn't have known that it's not buttermilk, but for some
Same
reason,
thing.
I like it. Yeah, I don't. But them old timers used to do. I mean, they'll eat anything. You know, you can make your own buttermilk. You ever seen people do that?
Yeah.
Where they take like heavy cream. Is it heavy cream?
Don't ask me. I ain't made that shit.
And then they just mix the shit out of it, and it
Turn
churns into butter, and then
See
it's
where
the
they got
buttermilk.
The wooden thing that they're turning the milk.
God, have you seen the video of the old woman who has one of those butter churns? And she's like, they've turned it into something very nasty,
Yes.
obviously,
Yes.
because as she starts doing it and it's sloshing, all that shit shooting out the top of the phone. I'm like, okay, we get it, Granny.
We're doing it in one of the scary movies too.
Oh, really?
The you know the black chick that's always in them. She's like in front of this guy. And she's like, because they were doing like a parody of The Village, so it's like, and she's like in front of him, and like from behind, the girl walks in and sees her going. Like the guy's like, oh yeah, and then you get closer and she's got the milk thing.
So stupid.
But yeah, they're supposed to be doing another one of those. We talked about.
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
Wayne's brothers are back.
Since you're in the, I'm gonna say you're in the aviation industry. What the fuck is happening with all the planes? Have you seen all those crashes?
happen all the time, man.
Dude, there's so many.
You'd be surprised on how many planes crash. It's just with social media and everything, you're going to hear about every crash.
Oh my god! I feel like
You
it
see
is
the Canadian one that flipped upside down.
I was gonna ask that. It was a Delta. Delta.
It was
flight.
Canadian Air.
I thought it was Delta.
It was a Canadian flight that landed and went.
Yeah, the minute it touched. I sent the video to y'all.
Yeah.
The minute it touched down, it goes boom. I was like, holy shit! And then there's a video of a guy that was in that flight that was recording as he was getting out. He was like, oh my god, I was just in that. It was upside down.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, when it caught fire and it blew up, I thought, oh, they're done. But it did. It was just like, I guess, the wing,
Yeah, on the
because it's
outside.
full of fuel or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that was the only thing that blew up. Jesus Christ! But yeah, no, I feel like there's been 8,000 wrecks over the last week and a half.
Yeah. Like I said, plane crashes happen a
Well,
lot.
there
but
was like-
usually they're like small aircraft, right?
There was two. One I saw that it was icy as shit on the runway. Don't know that they should be flying, or taking off or landing. But as it was trying to take off, it skid off the runway, and you saw it's like somebody was inside recording, and like they were out the window, and you see the plane going kind of straight, and then it just kind of turns sideways. So now you're seeing the runway from the side.
That would be crazy.
And then all of a sudden they hit the grass and the wing tips over and hits the ground and kind of breaks up.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. And then there was another one that was landing and it couldn't slow down. So it went through like a barricade at the end of the runway. It's like, fuck. Jesus Christ.
The most dangerous parts about flying is taking off and landing.
Well, every one that I saw had something to do with either taking off and landing. I just.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's like. You have to go back and look at data. Is there really more crashes happening, or with all the advances of social media and everybody having a camera and everything?
Where everybody's recording everything.
Are you just going to hear about it more?
Well, so I sent you the video. The first video I sent was the guy coming out of that upside down plane, and how fast that damn thing flipped upside down.
Yeah, that
crazy.
was weird.
So I sent you that, the guy coming out of it, and then like 2 or 3 reels later, it was that plane coming to land, and as soon as it hit, it just goes whoom and just flipped right over. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, I've never heard of.
Could you imagine being on that fucking plane?
But have your seatbelt on.
Well, that's right. Right.
When they tell you to put your seatbelts on when you're landing.
You know somebody was in the pisser.
Oh God.
You know somebody had to be in that
yeah.
pisser.
Oh,
Like, I just can't wait. Just
shitting. It's shitting. Flip upside down. It's all over you.
Ugh.
That's like in that Jackass when they got in the porta potty and slingshotted it after having to sit there for a week. God. Ugh. Shit.
There's a Google interview question. Have you seen that? Okay, so you're shrunk down to the size of a nickel.
Okay.
And you're put inside of a blender. You know, the blender has two forks that go up and two forks that go down. You know, so you're put into a blender and you got 60 seconds to figure out what to do. What do you do?
You're the size of a nickel?
Yeah. You're shrunk down to the size of a nickel and you're put inside of a blender. You have 60 seconds to figure out what to do.
You're not going to be able to get out. Because if you're that size trying to climb up smooth glass, you ain't going to. I mean, there's nothing. They fork out, but there's nothing in the middle, right?
Right. Except for where it connects to the bottom. So you have that, you know, that holds it up off the.
I'd run to the middle and try to hold on to that.
Things, yeah. And so I guess the other kink is it never stops spinning. Once it starts, it won't stop spinning.
I don't know. You're fucked. I mean, if you stay outside, you're gonna get sucked up in the blades if you don't run to the middle, because it's gonna even if you're far enough away where the blades aren't touching it, that's gonna create suction.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you just think about how when water's in there,
you see it all.
it immediately sucks to the bottom, right, through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But then the outside's going up, though, right?
Maybe, but you gotta take a risk of getting sucked back into it. What are you gonna do? You gotta. I don't know what's in the blender too. Is there fluid in the blender?
Nothing. It's just you.
Well, then you're not gonna fucking get sucked up the sides.
Well, very true. So there's.
I'd run to the middle. Get on top of the blade.
So there. Well, but what do you have to hold on to?
Well, in the middle, like you said, there's little things.
Oh, underneath it.
Yeah,
underneath
I'm gonna run there.
Right.
And just spin it. You're fucked because if it's not gonna stop spinning, you're eventually gonna
pass out.
Yeah. I don't know what you could do.
So I never found I don't know that there is an answer, but the three best answers I found. Number one is jump out.
How?
So they say your muscular strength would scale quadratically while your body weight would scale cubically.
So they're trying to say you could jump like a flea.
Means you could potentially jump out of the blender due to the relative.
Yeah, but that's
your relatively increased strength.
That's just a theory, sir. It might not work.
Right, but that
you
sounds very.
Like,
that sounds very scientific.
You go to jump and you barely can jump. Damn it!
Sounds very scientific.
Yeah,
quadratically, cubically.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Number two is to climb out.
How?
Use the dried up residue or any texture.
They said there's nothing in it. They didn't say anything about that shit.
I know. This is just I'm sorry. There's four. Number three is use your wallet, because they're saying that you were shrunk, but your wallet was not.
Oh, please.
But they put you in there. You don't think they're going to go, oh, his wallet is also in there.
They said, that's a bullshit.
So that's dumb.
That's dumb.
The fourth one. So number one, I think, okay, if that's true, I don't know. That's the most reasonable one. But number four, though, I think they got something here. Number four, use your clothes to make a makeshift parachute.
See, for the suction.
So when it starts spinning, you have the air going up and out to try to catch that to take you out.
You could. Or just get sucked right into the...
Because they don't say that the lid is put on.
No, that's what I was thinking, but I'm like, how can you climb out? You're not going to climb out of that bitch.
Residue and stuff.
Well, they said it was empty.
Right. But yeah, to me, it's the jump out or parachute.
And plus, if you're the size of a nickel, how long did they say you had?
60 seconds.
You got 60 seconds to climb out of this bitch, even if there was stuff. You better be fucking moving, because that's a pretty high climb.
Yeah, so the first thing to do is try to jump. Yeah. Right, because you got 60 seconds. You're like, let's see if that works, and if not, but I mean, what
if not, kiss your ass?
I mean, this stuff's not gonna.
No, kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah,
you're fucked.
No,
if you can't jump out, you can't climb out. You're done.
But with the theory of use your wallet, and they're saying, well, they didn't say your wallet was shrunk. Well, your clothes wouldn't be shrunk that way either.
Well, then they didn't say your clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dumbass.
So that's just dumb. So.
Yeah, that's just stupid theory. I think that that's it. I'm trying to see how much thought somebody can put into problem solving. Or you can see, are they just going to be a type of person that's just going to give up or try.
Well, because there was a lot of people that were like, I guess I'll just kiss my ass goodbye. You
Yeah.
know, like whatever.
like not give any ideas.
Yeah, like what the fuck am I supposed to do? You know, there's
This
nothing I
is
can do.
Stupid.
Right. Somebody did say when I was reading like through some of this stuff, one of them said that they would create a like a rope out of their clothes and tie it onto one of the blades and hold on to the rope as it spins them around. Like, what is that?
What is that going to do?
But
You're
you're
going to
just
let go and...
Yeah,
and who can make a rope out of their clothes? I mean,
I don't know. How would anybody know that?
weird question.
I thought it was pretty neat though.
Yeah.
And you no longer get the job. You're fired
Why?
because you didn't pass. You didn't think of any of those.
Well, I thought one was real stupid.
You ever heard of the Vedoma tribe in Africa?
The Doma tribe.
Vedoma.
Vadoma.
Doma, I think is another name that they're called, but Doma tribe.
Okay.
You ever heard of them? Okay. I'm gonna. I don't know if I can do this. I'm gonna try to because I can do like picture in picture on the video.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
you're going to try to
I'm gonna see if I can put the
try to
picture.
get fancy.
I'm gonna see if I can put the picture up so y'all can see it. But if not, Google search Vedoma tribe, and check it out while we talk about it. Because the Vedoma tribe, also known as the ostrich-footed tribe or the two-toed tribe.
No shit.
So this is what their feet look
What
like.
the
They have two giant toes, and then like they turn into like a V. Like think of it like a chicken's foot or an ostrich's foot, right?
Is that all of them like that?
So not all of them, majority of them, have this disease or genetic defect is what it is.
Jesus.
Um,
That's weird looking.
so the Vedoma tribe in Zimbabwe, known as Doma or Dema, they have a genetic disorder called electrodactyl, which means they have no middle toes. So just basically they're
Big
thumb,
toe. With,
big toe and pinky toe.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that
But then it,
disorder,
like, splits too. That's weird.
they're nicknamed two-toed or ostrich-footed tribe. Is that not the weirdest
I
thing
wonder if
ever?
they can run fast.
Well,
Ostriches can.
those affected are not considered to be disabled. In fact, it says they're not considered disabled within their community and are believed to have better tree climbing abilities. But that does make sense because you have two toes more like a V, and I guess you could hold on a little better to the trunk. Because if not, it's like if I'm climbing a tree, my feet are just going to scoot, like the bottom of my feet are just going to scoot up and down.
So, on feet,
Okay.
I heard this on Joe Rogan. So Amazon tribes out there that are pretty much like untouched. They don't really.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of tribes like that, and they're barefoot constantly.
Yeah.
So over time, their feet. A lot of experts think that's how everybody's feet used to look
Oh,
before people started wearing shoes and stuff.
we all evolved from like monkeys and
Well-
look at their feet or whatever.
yeah, but wearing shoes and everything.
Primates, yeah.
So their feet still look like pretty much like hands almost. Like check out their feet. Like their toes are really spread out and they can grip.
And like their big toes almost like our thumb
And
is
they
on our
say
hand.
like that's
it's not quite, but it's close.
But they're like that's why a lot of them think well, that's how everybody's feet used to look before we look at them. They're like fucking big ass hands.
Oh my!
Yeah,
and
just
they're
type-
giant feet,
If
though.
you want to look at it out there, just type in Amazon tribe feet, and
and pay some money to view them.
it is it's pretty wild. But everybody thinks that's how our feet used to look before we, over time, wearing shoes and everything. Our feet have gotten, tighter and softer.
So you bring up Joe Rogan,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't always listen to Joe
I
Rogan.
mean, we're pretty much just as big as him.
We're pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even bigger.
Yeah. I mean, heavier. Yeah, we're bigger than he is.
Yeah.
I don't always listen to him, but I'll randomly kick it on.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's just some things I just don't want to listen to.
Yeah, and there's they're pretty long.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we don't have much room to talk.
well, we've
'cause
had
our
a
last,
couple. Yeah, we had a couple, but yeah, they're pretty. Every one of his is 3
like
hours.
3-4 hours
Yeah.
long. Yep.
But he's got pretty interesting people he's talking to.
So he had a guy on there. I don't know what episode it was. Honestly, don't care. Don't remember the guy's name. He was talking to him about that he's not an expert in any of these fields, but he does a lot of research into ancient history and blah, 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 and, and pyramids and whatever. And somehow they got on to the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
And that there's a tribe in Ethiopia or a church in Ethiopia
that supposedly
has it, right? And has had it for a long time, which sounds weird to me.
Yeah, because it just
I mean, if it's
disappeared. Like it used to be like
right.
They knew a couple of places where it was kept in the Middle East and laid the siege and stuff. Whoever would defeat, take it with them, because it was said. You've seen Indiana Jones,
of course.
Whoever holds the Ark holds the ultimate power, and that's why Hitler wanted it.
So they got on to that talk and talking about that, like they have people that watch over the Ark to ensure nobody comes to get it or whatever it is. They're the protectors of the Ark. But that all of those people have signs of radiation poisoning, and then they die, and then more become the protectors of, and they all show signs of radiation poisoning, and it's just like Joe Rogan said that he had heard that it was put inside the sarcophagus in the King's Chamber, right? Which, have you ever seen the sarcophagus in the King's Chamber? It's massive,
yeah,
right? And so he's like, because they thought that was the power source that created the energy or harnessed the energy from whatever, because they said all those pyramids were
a lot of them think they're
generators of some sort, right? Well, this guy who they had talked about all kinds of stuff and very knowledgeable, he said, well, that could never happen. And Joe was like, why not? He goes, based on the size of the Ark, it would never fit in that king's in the sarcophagus in the King's Chamber. He's like, what do you mean? He goes, well, based off the biblical description of the size of the Ark of the Covenant, it would never fit into the sarcophagus. And Joe's like, well, that's a gigantic sarcophagus. He's like, yeah, but this thing, based on the size in the Bible, is huge, blah, blah, blah. And now I, like that man, don't know shit. But when people say something like that, now I'm like, well, how big is that? How big is the sarcophagus, right? Sarcophagus. I said, how big is the sarcophagus in the King's Chamber and the Great Pyramid? The length is 2.9 meters, so 9.5 feet long, 8.4 feet wide, 5.5 feet or 5.1 feet tall. So 9.5, 8.
That's pretty good size.
8.45.
And he's saying it won't fit in there,
right? And so I'm like, okay, now I've got like an idea of how big that is. So I then researched what is the measurements that are detailed by the Bible, which is what he was saying, of the Ark of the Covenant. And so then it tells me the length is 2.5 cubits, 1.5 width is 1.5 cubits, and the height is 1.5 cubits.
How big is that?
Well, now here's one thing I do know, that there are different measurements for cubit. So then now I have to, well, what are the differences in the cubits? I don't know if it's one's a foot and one's 6 foot, So I'm like, okay, what are the different measurements for the different cubits? So there's a Greek cubit, Babylonian cubit, Egyptian cubit, Royal Egyptian cubit, and the Hebrew standard cubit. Hebrew/standard cubit. I assume it's the standard, the Hebrew standard, right?
Yeah, you would think.
The Greek cubit is 18.3 inches, Babylonian 19.8, Egyptian is 17.6, Royal Egyptian 20.6, and then the standard Hebrew cubit is 18 inches. So let's just say it's the 18 inches.
So one is 18. How many did they say it was?
They said it was 2.5 cubits long.
So
let's say it's a foot and a half. That's 3 foot. Let's call it 5 foot just for the fun of it.
Okay, that would fit in the length, 'cause
Lengthwise.
it said it was 9 feet, I think.
Correct. The width is 1.5.
And that was
So,
So-
18 plus 9, 27
and
inches.
and that was 8 feet wide, so it fit.
Correct. The height is 1.5, so the exact same.
And the height was 5 feet, and so it fit in there.
Right.
If it going by that.
So the minute I heard,
you said, so
I'm
you
s-
heard they said that guy's full of shit.
so I'm listening. I looked this up and found out. Well, this guy clearly doesn't
Well,
like he said. I don't know what I'm talking
Well,
about.
he thinks,
But he was
or he thinks, the cubit they were using was a different measure, but all of those would fit, right?
yeah, every one of those would
Because
fit.
that was like the biggest one.
The biggest one was 20 inches, like 20 and a half inches or whatever.
So he's full of shit, or he just got mistaken.
Well, but he was very adamant that there is no way in hell that thing would fit in there. And because of how dead set he
how
was,
bold state, he
Yeah.
was not.
I went, I'm not going to listen to that one anymore. Look, we say a lot. I say a lot of
yeah.
dumb shit that I know
yeah.
is not
I know
true.
80% of the shit that I say.
I do zero research.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to really say this guy's a fucking liar. But on this instance, according to Google, he was wrong. Turn it
Wrong,
off.
dude. Whoever
Turn it
you
off.
were.
But the Earth is
Sure.
still flat.
And there's no dinosaurs.
And there are definitely
That
no
was fake.
dinosaurs.
They planted all that. But there are mermaids.
Look, dude.
There was one video, so this guy's claiming like he was hearing them and shit.
Oh,
Did you see that
on
one where he was
the-
on that boat
in the
It's
night?
like, yeah, you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
hear like almost singing.
Yeah. They were
mean-
like calling to him or
But
whatever.
just- that's the thing now is with how advanced like AI and technology is and everything, you can never believe shit that you ever see again.
There's so many. Have you heard about the Minion?
The little yellow guys.
Yeah, but the Minion stuff that's going on like Reels and TikTok and stuff like that. Have you heard about that? Excuse me.
So like the minions,
Minions,
the little yellow guys.
little yellow minions off of
Despicable Me.
Despicable Me.
Okay.
So apparently there's a bunch of AI videos going around,
Okay.
and they're like, if you see your kids watching Minion videos on Reels or TikTok or whatever, make sure they don't do that anymore.
Why?
People are using AI, and again, I'm getting my information
From TikTok.
From TikTok.
Yeah.
But if it's real, if this is real, maybe we do tell our kids calm the fuck down. My daughter doesn't have the ability to watch any of that stuff because I don't have any social media on her stuff at all. But they are using AI and like videos from the Middle East where they're decapitating people and killing, just
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the whole.
using AI to put minions in that scenario. So the minions in the videos are like beating each other and physically hurting each other, and
But it just looks like minions do it.
but it looks like minions doing it, and it's very AI. So you got a lot of
Yeah.
distortion and everything. So yeah,
I mean, but they're not really seeing what's going on because the minions, right? I mean, it looks.
well they're not. Yeah, they're not. But the minions are doing what the
Yeah.
videos did. Crazy,
If the kids want to find them fucking videos, they're gonna find them anyway.
dude.
You can
Remember?
go to freaking YouTube and find
Well, I
basically
don't-
the whole fucking war. Everybody was wearing GoPros and shit.
yeah. Did you? I know I've seen clips. I've never watched the whole thing. Because I think there was a whole video out called Faces of Death.
Oh yeah, remember those videos that used to be a Blockbuster?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Where they showed like people.
Oh yeah. It was like you had to be like. They were in Blockbuster and
I don't remember that.
oh yeah, and there was like 4 or 5 of them.
No
Faces of Death, like showing actually people dying.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody had one. I can't remember who it was, and they were like, "Check this out," and it's like showed a guy like getting burned alive, like he was a criminal, and they had him tied to a tree, and it's just showing it, dude getting like just.
Gosh.
There's somebody getting hit by. I remember there was somebody get hit by a train, and like
Oh my
the body
god.
just like fucking exploded. Yo, Faces. How do you not know about Faces of Death?
I
That
know
was
what
like-
it is. Like I said, I've seen.
That was huge when we were like, probably. They were really big early '90s.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because they were kind of in the same era when you had. Remember, the only way to watch like UFC stuff was go to Blockbuster and rent the videos.
Rent the videos, yeah.
You know, because back when it was bare knuckle, they were with that kind of area.
No real. Oh,
Yeah.
go.
Faces of Death. I think there were like 5 or 6.
Forget about that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And there used to be a website where you could go and.
But yeah, I mean, I remember watching some of those. It was hard. It was demented. Like people that, if you knew anybody that was into it, you ask some questions because.
Oh yeah.
You're watching. Like,
Back a long time ago, Carlos bought a book, and I know he doesn't have it anymore. I think he doesn't. I know he doesn't. I'm gonna say I know he doesn't have it anymore. But it was like the Anarchist Guide to Life or whatever it was called. But it showed you like how to build pipe bombs.
they used to have those like if you went to the gun shows, like the big ones, like they used to have it like at Fort Worth.
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
Will Rogers or whatever.
You could find books on all that shit, on like how to make bombs and traps and.
Isn't
all
that
kinds of shit.
crazy?
Yeah.
They was openly sell
They
that
be
shit.
selling them on the booths at the gun show.
There's no way in hell you could ever buy that book at anywhere now. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere you could buy
You
it. But
could order it.
yeah.
Then you get flagged instantly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't. No, you're fine. But there used to be a website to go to because, like, and I don't even know how I found it, but it would always show like scenes of people, like especially like famous people, like the pictures they took of them when they passed away, however that happened. Do you remember that? I don't remember what the website was called, but there used to be a website we could go to, and it like had all categorized and everything, and you could click on it and you could see how, you know, all the they did like screen stills as the best they could of like the JFK assassination, and they did Chris Farley. They had his where they took all the pictures of him, and I was just like,
Autopsy pictures? Or
but
like
it wasn't.
crime scene?
It was like their crime scene photos.
Like at the,
Yeah, of whatever happened to him, whenever it happened to him.
like not straight crime scenes, but
Right.
Farley was just the.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, still.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but
scenes
you
they
could-
would took at like photo
the photos that the
police.
detectives or whoever would take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a. I don't remember who. Somebody told me about. Hey, go to this website and you can see. And I went one, and I saw. I went to the Chris Farley one because it was shortly after he did that, and I was like, I don't want to see any of this. Like that's just not something that
Yeah,
I
it's
want.
just disturbing, kind of. You know,
Yeah, no, it's
you're looking at real dead bodies.
right.
It's like that. Remember that show? What was that? Thousand Ways to Die or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Remember that show?
Mhm.
It wasn't too bad because they did it kind of comedy, and they
Yeah.
just had obviously actors, but the ways they were dying were like actual real. Some
Yeah,
of the
real
stuff
ways.
people died from. I saw one. The girl, she had like cut her legs shaving, but the razor she cut her legs shaving with was rusted,
Oh God.
and then got like some kind of tetanus from it, and then ended up killing her, like an infection on her leg.
Holy shit.
There was another one where like 2 trailer park hillbilly dudes got like a bathtub and put it like over a fire to make like their own hot tub, but then it like
Cooked to them.
it like broke through and they fell like in the
oh,
fire.
oh. I thought you were gonna say it got
Then
too
some
hot to
dudes
cook
were
them.
like, some stupid kids were like smoking like plants, like and they smoked like poison ivy or
Oh,
something, and their fucking shit all closed up.
oh
Remember that
God.
show.
Did you, or maybe you didn't hear? I heard, just because of the business I work in, there's new pizza place over in Weatherford.
Is that the one by?
Perry's.
Is that the one that's by Texas Roadhouse?
Right.
Looks pretty big.
Yeah, it's got like 70
some kind of
taps and pizza.
Yeah, it looked cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was- so
I think
it's done.
well, it doesn't open till like
That looks like a pretty cool place.
first week of March. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The people that own it, manage it, something like that. The husband and wife. I don't know if they're from Mineral Wells, but I know that their kids play through Mineral Wells Little
Okay.
League. So I've seen them all the time, and that's fixing to come up. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
I love a good, like, if you can find a place that's got good pizza, man.
Yeah,
That's why I was kind of bummed when Old School, because they had pretty good pizza.
I like their pizza.
I know it was a little pricey,
mm-hmm.
but
I don't care. Good pizza, I'll
but
pay
it was
anything for it.
damn, like, their bacon cheeseburger and their bacon ranch
tomato.
one.
Yeah.
They had some good pizza. I was bummed when we were bummed when that place closed.
So Scott Baker, Nick Perini, and this other guy named Jeremy were delivering to that Perry's Pizza.
Okay, so they're close then.
Yeah.
They built that thing fast.
Delivering like 30 kegs and.
They built that fast.
Oh yeah. First week of March, I think, is when they're saying it's going to open.
Oh, I'll check that out for sure.
Anyway, and so they had to wait for the people to get there. There was a dead body in Texas Roadhouse's parking lot, maybe two.
When they were delivering,
Yeah,
like were the cops there already?
I don't know. So this is where I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
Obviously about what happened. I'm sure that's in the
Shit.
newspaper. It's definitely a sad story. Someone passed
Yeah.
away,
God.
but
2, you said?
one at least. But
'Cause
also,
that's
like,
a big
they-
difference.
they said when they got there and then they had looked over and they saw, they were like, oh, and then the lady was like, yeah, there's somebody over there, and they were like either wrapped up in a tarp or wrapped up in a rug. They were wrapped up in something in the parking lot.
Damn.
And then when they got done, one of the guys left, and like I think their parking lots are kind of connected,
Makes sense.
and so he was driving towards Texas Roadhouse, not thinking about it, and he said it was just wide open. The open air was to it, and
Just straight
Just
nothing
straight
on it.
body.
Oh damn.
and I went, oh my. He goes, I want to unsee that,
Yeah.
because like seeing pictures of stuff like that is
Yeah.
one thing, but seeing it in real life,
Yeah.
oof, no
Remember
way.
that person that, like the year that they found that they had died in like their car at,
Oh, here in Mineral Wells
Yeah.
at Walmart.
yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy too, because
And he was there for like people were walking by for I think he
Days.
said
It was-
Tristan was even like
yeah, and he was,
going in there
and it was like 100 degrees outside,
yeah,
and just
so, I mean that shows you how much you're not really like paying attention to when you're just
yeah,
but damn.
it's crazy, dude. Yeah, no, but that was the day that like it was freezing cold. The first day that it was like the entire Wednesday, I guess, when the entirety of the day was below freezing,
Yeah.
and
That's when you hear a lot of people like when they find like you've heard stories when they find like loved ones, especially like loved ones that had like killed themselves and stuff. It messes that person up
oh yeah, oh
for
absolutely,
life because they can't
yeah. I mean, speaking of okay, what a weird topic we got on.
Well,
what
you
the
started
Blake, you
this.
son of a
You
bitch.
started this with your faces of death.
I know. I got sat down and turned on The Mist.
Oh god.
I hadn't seen that in forever.
Damn,
We talked about it. And I
that
wanted to watch it.
fucking Ending.
The ending's fucking
It's one of the-
terrible.
I mean, God, he offs.
And I forget because I hate spiders.
Oh yeah, the big. Yeah.
Oh,
There's some big ones boy, in that one.
Oh god! It was just the minute I watched it,
Yeah.
I'm watching it, and they walk into the pharmacy, and then you see the webs everywhere,
Yeah.
and I went, "Oh my god, no!"
Have you ever seen Eight-Legged Freaks?
Uh-uh.
It's kind of like a comedy horror. It's got David Arquette in it, but there's a bunch of giant spiders in that one. And all different kinds. Like this one scene, these guys are dirt biking, you know, and those ones that dig like the
Oh yeah, the
tra-
trapdoor
they-
spiders.
Boom, they come out and like just start nailing them. And there's another one with, of course, arachnophobia, but those aren't giant spiders.
No, that's just regular ass spiders, and it
so
sucks.
that's even more terrifying.
That's even worse.
But that scene, and so they've done King Kong obviously many times.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that had Jack Black in it that came out like, if I was going to guess, like 2010-ish. You ever seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
When they fall into that ravine and all them giant insects. Like, that's disturbing kind of because it's like, damn, because it's taking people out. That one gets on that guy's head, that worm-looking thing, and
Yeah, that was a crazy movie.
something about giant insects. Just
So
yeah,
I
but the ending, God,
So I told Tristan, I go, hey, we need to sit down and watch The Mist.
he's never seen it.
And
All
he
right.
goes, oh, we just sat down for dinner. I was like, hey, I got two movies for us to watch, The Mist and Signs, because we just talked about
awesome.
it. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he walks his happy ass upstairs to go play Marvel Rivals.
That's
And
what
I
Taylor's been playing.
never see him.
So he didn't watch it. You watched it
No,
by
I just
yourself?
watched it by myself. I told Tasha, I was like, we need to watch it. And she's like, oh, okay. Big old nope. So I just watched it by myself. Good movie. So I'm not gonna watch Signs by myself though. That's a scary.
Signs
movie. It's a
awesome.
scary
I
movie.
love
No, I
it.
love it. Scary movie to me, man. Spiders and aliens, man.
freak you out.
Spiders and aliens.
So you need to watch then
Alien spiders.
the fifth kind. The fifth. What is it called? Man, it's a. You want to talk about if you're afraid of like. If you're afraid of like aliens and alien abduction and stuff,
Mm-hmm. Of something of the fifth
this one will scare the shit out of
fifth dimension or the God. I know what you're talking about. It's the one in the field and he's like this. He's get like
you. No, that's that is a pretty good one. That's damn it, my mind just went blank because that one's pretty freaky too. Fire in the Sky.
Oh yeah.
When he gets in that, because that shows like it's everything that he said. Like all the aliens when they're doing the
Yeah.
experiments on him. I bet that freaks you out. But there's
So
one
much.
that's I'll find it.
You don't even know.
The Fourth Kind.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. And I think that's the one where they said they act because for some reason it was like let me read the details on it because it's supposed to be loosely based on real shit. So since the 1960s, a large number of population around Nome, Alaska, have gone missing. So there's a lot of people around Nome, Alaska, since the 60s that just vanished.
Okay.
So a psychiatrist goes there, and she starts like interviewing people and witnesses, and she's putting them under hypnosis, and they start like remembering or talking about
Abductions.
that's happened to them that they have forgotten about, and I think this is the one that supposedly they use actual like
Aliens.
video, audio from the interviews when that therapist was doing it to them.
Oh,
like
okay.
Really, like they're real sounds of them, like they're making like.
Oh my God. Nope.
So that would freak you out.
Nope.
There was another one that was called Dark Skies. That one's pretty.
I think I remember that one.
You can watch Under the Skin. That's the Scarlett Johansson one. Well, she's like this alien that's taken the at first the beginning of the movie, the alien is just solid black,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes across. I can't remember how it comes across this person, Scarlett Johansson's body, and basically is wearing her body as like a skin, so it looks like. Scarlett.
There's a movie.
And she
Men in
basi-
Black.
Oh no, it's this one though. Scarlett Johansson alien lures guys like back to her like, but Scarlett.
I mean, it doesn't take much.
takes
Yeah.
her clothes off in this.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a very weird movie because like she lures them back and they like sink into this like. She starts taking her clothes off, and getting naked to like lure them to her, and then they start like sinking into this like ooze.
Ugh.
It's a weird movie.
Hmm.
But yeah, watch The Fourth Kind. You'll freak out.
In the Mist, there's the young kid where they're in the back room, and the generator, the exhaust pipe was clogged up, and so he's like, "I'll go out there. It was my idea." Who's that kid?
The actor?
Yeah. What
Let me
other
see.
movies was he? Can you picture his face?
No, that's what I'm gonna look at.
Young little, like I think he's redheaded, kind of freckled. Anyway, but I recognized him, and I typically when I do this, I start looking up the actor to see what else they were in. I'm like, oh yeah, they were in this and this and this. And Tasha hates that when I do. I'm like, oh, this person was in that movie.
Oh, was it
He's not obviously.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one. It's the Shermanator. off
Oh,
of
the
American Pie.
Shermanator. Yes, it's the Shermanator.
That's the Shermanator. And he was like in major pain. He's
Yes,
but yeah, you know him as the
the Shermanator.
a sex robot sent back in time to change the. Yeah, that was the Shermanator.
Yeah. So,
Things
but
don't
anyway,
end, but things don't end well for him.
not at all. Real quick.
God,
Uh,
I'm glad you watched it. You're talking about things I haven't thought of. I heard a song today that hadn't thought of it in years,
okay.
and I'm sitting there singing it, and Taylor's looking at me weird because I was driving her to school for the tonight's
Play.
It was Crash Test Dummies, and I hadn't heard that in a long time. Right?
Isn't
I
that
was-
all it says?
That's the name of the song. No, it's got. I know every word to this song.
I didn't know it had word. Like honestly, I don't remember.
Once there was this boy who. Man, but I hadn't heard that in so long, and I'm just sitting
Good
there.
Lord.
It
Crash
was also,
Test Dummies.
It was also in the Dumb and Dumber movie. They play
Yeah.
a little part of it, but
I started watching The Mask, but I didn't finish.
oh, that's great.
It was. I forgot.
Great movie. And
Yeah.
that's actually Jim Carrey movie made for him, right?
Oh, yeah.
People say he's like over actor and stuff, but that was
You know, Jim Carrey wasn't a known actor at this time, but I think he would have been great as the villain in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
oh, you know who the villain was?
Mm-mm. I don't remember. I can picture his face, but I
It was
can't.
freaking Doc Brown.
Oh, Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, he was
That's
the
who it
villain.
was.
Yes, he was the villain.
Yes.
You just don't think because he had the hat and glasses.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
When you get to the end, that's kind of freaky when you're a kid. And he's like,
And he turns
"When I
into.
killed your brother," he starts screaming.
Yeah, starts screaming.
That's a great movie. Too.
Oh,
I want to watch that.
I'd want to watch that now too.
Hottest cartoon ever.
Mm-hmm. Jessica Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
So we were at lunch today. Me and Nick and Dylan and Scott Baker were there. And Tristan was there. Tristan. So obviously now he's 21.
Bala.
Yeah. So he wants to hang out with us and have a few beers with us. But we started talking about actresses from like when we were growing up and trying to guess their age.
Okay.
Jessica Alba.
She's probably close to ours. If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably close to my age. So, 42.
I think she was 45.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
She's going to be a little older than me. So, 48.
Oh God, I can't remember now. I had all these. I had them all
I
pulled
bet
up.
she's anywhere around because I would think she's going to be older than I am. So, 48ish is what I would guess.
Jennifer Love. Okay, there it is. There it is. She is 46.
Okay. Close.
And I want to check that Jessica Alba.
I was thinking somewhere around about 42. That would be my guess.
She's 43. I'm sorry, she was
Okay,
43.
So she's exactly my age.
Yeah, she was born in 81. Yeah.
Mhm.
There was who was it? Oh God, I can't remember. So somebody has a birthday today. I want
The
to say.
celebrity birthday
Yeah.
today?
Okay. What about Jessica Biel?
I'm trying to think. Like, I would think she's a 38.
She's 42.
Okay, so she's
So all these people are like right around our age.
Yeah,
What about Scarlett Johansson?
45.
She's 40.
Okay.
So I mean, so like we're not too far off. Maybe it's this one.
I always,
no.
I always guess.
What about Natalie Portman?
40.
She's 43.
Okay, so my age. I always guess. In my head, I always guess actors. Usually, I go a little older because most actors are older than what they play when they're like teenage actors or like kid actors.
Yeah. It's one of these. It's one of those that I just mentioned. I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, so that's just. And the reason why we started talking about that because when we're younger and we're seeing these kids.
Jennifer Love Hewitt's birthday.
Okay, Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's today.
She turned 46 today.
Yes.
Jordan
Yes.
Peele.
Oh, also today is his birthday?
46 today.
Huh. But you sit here and you see these kids on TV. and
Sophie Turner. Who's that?
she's from Game of Thrones.
29.
The
Oh, the
Sansa.
Sansa, yeah. 29. Ashley Greene. I think she was from the Twilight movies, maybe. She's 38.
Mm.
Titus Burgess. Name sounds familiar. Who's that?
What does he look like?
These are just.
It's just a list of names.
Yeah, I just typed in like celebrity birthdays.
But like you see him,
Yeah.
you see him on TV, and you think they're your age.
Well, most of them were.
Well, not a lot of them though, right? Because like the people that played the Power Rangers,
Go Power Rangers.
they were supposed to be in high school, but
Yeah,
really
well-
they were.
Well, you know, so especially when it comes like to young actors, they.
Like Amy Jo Johnson, she was a original Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
Original Pink Ranger. When we were watching, them, you're like, oh, they're in high school, so they're
Yeah.
close to my age at the very least.
They're older.
Now, granted, that was like junior high for me.
Yeah. For me too. You think like you're that much older than me.
How old do you think she is?
52.
She's 54. I would have never guessed that.
I would have thought she's.
So she's 10 years older than me. So in junior high, let's just say I'm 14. She was 24 playing a high
Well,
school
think
actor.
about it. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh, Matthew Broderick.
Mm-hmm.
He's always one of the guys that's looked younger. He was like 25, 26 when he played Ferris. He's supposed to be like an 18-year-old kid. And I think Michael J. Fox was.
How old do you think he is? Matthew Broderick.
Oh God. 58.
62.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like he was way older. Like he was like 25, 26 playing Ferris, and Michael J. Fox was the same way. He looked so young. Like
How do you think he is?
Michael J. Fox, he's like 62.
He's 63.
Yeah,
Dude, that's crazy.
yeah. A lot of times they find like, especially
Younger
like,
looking.
especially kid actors, because older people are gonna be more mature and everything. Like Ralph Macchio is like a big one.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch was playing like a 15-year-old, and he was like 24 years old in Karate Kid. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, look how old he was in like Karate Kid. Ralph Macchio.
I'll just look at what he is now. He's 63.
Yeah. So in
In the 80s? That's 80s, right?
oh yeah.
So let's
So look here. Ralph Macchio was
fucking
born
40 years ago.
Okay, so he was born in 61.
Yeah.
Karate Kid was 84,
So he's 23.
and he was playing a 15-year-old. He just always looked young. Ralph Macchio still looks like, when you look at him in like the new Cobra Kai stuff, he don't look like he's that damn old.
No. Alyssa Milano was a big one on Who's the Boss. She's playing a very young actress. How would you think she is?
53-ish.
She's 52.
Yeah.
You're not too bad at this game. I was way off on everything.
Well, I just always think, okay.
like I automatically
were-
think they're my age.
I just think like, okay, when was that show out? Who's the Boss and everything was popular in the 80s.
Loved it.
Um,
Tony Danza.
and you think, okay, she was playing like a 15, 16-year-old, so she probably really was like 18.
But
or
she was
19.
real young though when it first started.
Yeah,
she
but
was young.
She was probably older than what you think. Scarlett
Well,
Johansson
obviously.
was a
Child
she
actor.
Was you don't think of it, but she was in movies when she was a kid. There was one about. Was she in The Horse Whisperer? I think maybe.
I don't know. Was she?
I think so. I think she was. No. Yeah. So I kicked the shit out of that.
This is
What
pretty
else you got for me?
Pretty damn good.
Yeah. What else you got?
I was very surprised that you got. I mean, you were pretty damn close to every
I mean,
one
I
of
was
those.
Within
A
2 or
few
3
years, yeah.
of them.
Uh,
Yeah,
ano-
it's just kind of surprising when you see how old some people are now that, like, that were big actors when you were in high school.
Mhm.
Because it's like, damn, like George Clooney and Brad Pitt and all of them are late 50s.
Oh.
Stallone
Oh,
and
he's like
Arnold
70s.
they're like 76 years old.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson's
90?
90 something. William Shatner's like 92.
I know. And I mean, they don't look 90. Willie does.
Willie-
Willie does.
But William Shatner looks pretty.
He doesn't look 90.
And
I mean,
they're still out doing, like Clint Eastwood looks old now, but he's 92 years, but he's still directing movies and shit. I'm like, most people don't even are dead 20 years earlier,
oh, yeah. You go, hello.
and they're still out there. Mel Brooks
Dude, that.
still does shit, and I think Mel Brooks is like 98 or some crazy shit.
He did History of the World Part 2.
He did Spaceballs, Men in Tights, Blazing
No,
Saddles.
no. So he did History of the World. Well, they came out with like a series, History of the World Part 2, that came out on Netflix or Amazon
Oh
or
yeah,
one of those. And I started watching. I never finished it, but he was in there. Like he was at the very beginning of it.
he's 98 years old.
Well, Betty White, what was she, 99 when she passed
I
away?
think she had made it to like.
100? Did she make it to
I
100?
think so. I thought she did, but if she didn't, she was.
I mean, she was right there knocking on the door if she wasn't.
Let's see how old she was. 99.
Yep. I didn't think she made it to 100.
And boy, but so her birthday was in January, and she died in December 31st.
Oh my God!
That's
So
why
she
I thought
was knocking on
she
the
was
door.
17 days away from being 100.
Fuck.
The oldest actor I can remember recently was Kirk Douglas. He made it over 100.
Did he?
You know who Kirk Douglas is, right?
Yes.
Well, you never know with you.
Michael Douglas's
Daddy.
daddy.
103.
Jesus
He lived.
Christ.
He just died in 2020. Can you imagine?
Did he really?
Can you imagine living that long, over 100 years?
No.
The shit, especially like how much stuff changed in your lifetime, like
I
technology
mean, you've seen
and everything.
you've seen
Think about it,
everything. Yeah.
uh,
From let's say what
So take-
2020. So
take Kirk Douglas. He was born in 1916.
fuck.
In his lifetime, he went to like
Well, he saw TV.
saw
Invented.
TV. He saw fucking people going to
Moon.
the moon and shit and space. Well, people space travel and stuff. Like, ask Elon. He's gonna come in here and get your ass. Just think about all the shit he saw,
No,
technology wise, because we evolved. I mean, it went so fast. Like,
And like now, like we've seen evolution. Obviously, internet and
yeah, like
and
technical,
everything,
all the
everything in the palm of your hand. From having to have a huge computer at home.
I mean, he's born in 1918. Most people probably have phones in their fucking houses, like
Right.
phones.
Right. Some people
And
may
then-
not have had running water.
And then when he died, people would carry around computers in their pocket and shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he has seen the evolution of mankind,
He's seen us go from awesome to shit.
and it's fucking crazy to think that he saw every bit of that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
he was still pretty like alert and stuff till his end. He wasn't like. Have you seen talking about old ass people? It's kind of sad, but I guess more when I think about it, more power to him. I guess he's making money. Let me find it.
What are we talking about here?
Oh, Frankie Avalon. You know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Singer, actor.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen lately? I think it's him. I'm trying to make sure that I'm telling the right.
I'm listening.
I'm looking it up. Hang on, just give me a second.
Oh God, here we go. See, this is
Who's? Well, I want to make sure I'm not doing false advertising here.
why not? I do it all the time.
I think it's him. There's somebody from that era that they have out there on stage, like he's still up there performing with like backup singers, but he's clearly
Oh, just mouthing.
yeah, like he's not even close. Like it's not. I mean, sometimes his lips are barely moving.
Yeah.
And at
But
first
they
I-
have that background
at first
music going.
I was like, that's kind of sad. But then I'm like, he's up on stage performing. He's still making.
Well,
I mean,
performing.
he's still making money. It's probably keeping him freaking alive. Because when people stop doing shit, you
Yeah.
always hear about when people retire and stuff. They like look at that. The coach for Lou Paterno, the coach for Penn State all the years. He coached for like 50, 60 years.
Yep.
Retired. And then he's dead within a year.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like the
You just stop.
drive like goes away. But
Yeah, no, I did see that video.
yeah, I mean it's crazy.
Where
I mean,
he
it's,
is
it's
just-
not even. It's not even close to anything. Well, I think it was Frankie.
I think you're right. Speaking of, a lot of people are upset, and we all know who's upset
Uh-oh.
about Elon Musk finding this money, going through and
Yeah. What's
having,
funny is that's what's shocking to me is
having access to see all this stuff.
the people are more pissed about Elon because he has access. And I'm thinking, people, if Elon wanted anything from you,
Right.
that they're more pissed at him
And Trump.
than all this fucking blatant money and corruption and everything that they've proven already. They're not mad at those people.
Mm-mm.
They're mad at Elon because he knows my social security number now.
Who? Yeah.
Yeah, but he also just found out that you're fucking government for years, and now we've always suspected that. We're getting.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually found so much evidence that fast. I mean, we're just getting started.
Well, one of the big things, and I think I know Facto sent it to me, but Elon Musk had tweeted that these are numbers from Social Security,
The
or
ages-
from not Social Security, from the IRS,
yeah,
where these people their death is set to false, right? And there's like it's age range is by tens,
it's insane.
so
That
the age 0 through 9, blah 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 blah. But this is, and I'm not saying people don't live this long, but 0 to 90 to 109. I'm sorry, 100 to 109. There's still 4 million people with their death set to false, so they're still alive, is what that means.
No, they're not.
Okay, cool. So maybe there are 4 million people in the United States, right? one.
I think the oldest living person
Hold on,
is like
one-
114.
One, yeah, maybe. Okay, so 110 to 119,
Yeah.
there's 3 million.
Uh-huh.
120 to 129, 3 million. 130 to 139, almost 4 million in that one. But you keep going on, and this is where it gets a little weird. I mean,
Just a little.
This is where it
this
gets
is
weird.
Little weird.
200 to 209. There's 879
Uh-huh.
people in the United
200
States
years
still
old.
alive.
Yeah.
Right. 210 to 219, 800 and whatever. 220 to 229, 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Of
more.
course.
There's more older people than.
Yeah. I mean,
There's one person
over 300 years old.
between 360 to 369. One person.
Now some people, the defenders have come out and said.
Well, that means they are older than the United States.
So the defenders have come out and said that's not true. What they have said. I heard this was like, this is what they're running with. The database is so old with the program or whatever they use for that. It's so old that Elon and them pulling data with their new technology it doesn't understand. So it's not really. They're saying yes, the database is old, needs to be updated. Like it's all ancient, like technology, but it's not really. They're trying to say it's not really. I have to
Yeah.
explain it to you, but
Yeah, no, I see what you're
they're
saying.
blaming it on like technology. They're not really saying money's not getting paid out to like 300-year-old people.
Yeah, so
but
yeah,
you're
but
like,
what this
okay.
is saying with your debt
Even if that was
set to false, that means they're getting money from Social Security, is what that means. So they're being
Yeah.
paid money
and
from Social. And let's say, okay, cool. Maybe the age ranges are wrong. Are they also trying to say that the count is wrong?
But even if that's true, say that was just they're saying, well, that's kind of scary that your database is so
Right.
shitty and
So if you're saying that the database is so bad that it doesn't translate to new technology or whatever,
something like that.
how can you trust the database to be accurate?
Well, it's just like they're keeping all the fucking files in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Seen that shit?
Yes.
And they can only get to like 2,000 people a day
Mm-hmm.
because it takes so. And if the elevator's broken,
Right.
well, they're not doing anything that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck kind of
Yeah,
shady
what are we
shit is-
doing?
That's so shady.
But they're so mad about him finding where all this money's going.
Mhm.
And it's just
It's insane. Some of that money. They were
where
saying.
the money's going.
It's insane.
It,
Like
just-
$20-something million for a Iraqi Sesame Street or some shit.
mm-hmm.
I mean, what the fuck is that?
It's just so much
Like
money.
one guy
being,
said perfectly, "Hey, I'm all about for helping people, and all about for helping the world, but you can't go helping other countries till you get your fucking country in order.
Mhm.
Get our country in order, and when we're back sustaining, and we're back being the powerhouse,
and not in a deficit.
then you can go help other people. But
We're-
until you get your own house in order, don't fucking worry about. You got to take care of your people first, and that's why so many people voted for Trump because he was like, "I'm putting America first. I'm."
Mm-hmm.
When the other side was going,
Everywhere else.
because there's so much power play, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. You're trying, and I get what they're saying, that we're trying to, whatever they call it, soft. Whatever. We're not going in there with our army and saying,
Mhm.
and now you're going to be a democratic state. So we're just trying to kind of.
Yeah.
It will give you money if you do some stuff or whatever, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I mean, just the money and the amount of money that's being wasted.
And it's insane. And like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. They haven't even.
Yeah.
He's supposed to do Fort Knox and
Mm-hmm.
the Pentagon and all. Like they were showing, like there was a clip from Dumb and Dumber where they're talking about IOUs at the end, and they're saying that's.
Those are all
And
good.
they said that's Fort Knox talking to Elon when he audits them. He's like 300 thou. Might to keep hanging
Might
on
want
that one.
might want to hang on to that one.
That's just as good as money. Those are IOUs.
And now it's like they're kind of on the table, and the money range is different, but it's like $5,000 to $8,000 back
Yeah,
to the.
like that. That's what. Like,
But they're saying like 20% back to the people,
which they should. I mean, this
and
is
then
money.
20% goes to pay off the deficit, and then people are like, well, what about the other 60%? Well, the other 60% stays in the kind of the rolling.
Trust me, Trump's.
Yeah.
I mean, Elon's gonna find more shit.
No, absolutely.
If he's already found this, just think of what he's.
But
gonna
one of
find.
my favorite videos that I've seen is it's a woman, and she's like, look, y'all are upset, and y'all are mad that they're finding this money, and y'all are mad at and you want him done and gone, So I assume that if we do get that money, you will
I
not
saw
take
that video, like saying, "Hey, just hold your ground, toes in the sand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You want to don't? I bet you want to
Don't accept-
If
don't
we
accept
get
the money.
$5,000 check sent to us, don't you accept it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you take it?
Don't you take it? But
Bullshit.
guess
you
what?
Know, yeah.
Oh,
I keep thinking I hear something talking.
it's the cows.
It's the fucking.
Oh, it's squeaking
I
or
keep
something.
hearing that thing. I'm like, there ain't nobody here. Yeah, so fuck you. Fuck them fucking people. God, they just want to bitch about it. People just want to bitch to bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is.
But I love it.
Yeah.
You know,
It does crack me up when you see meltdowns and stuff. But
dude, those are some of my favorite things to see.
but
And I don't care who it is melting
yeah,
down. I just
any
like to see a
any
meltdown.
Now some are more funny than others, but no, just people just they just gotta bitch to bitch. You can't ever be happy. Just gotta. And most of it's because you're fucking miserable in your own life, and you want to make everybody feel the same way you do.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Did you see Walmart flooded today?
Yeah. God.
So
dang.
so we were at Walmart last night, me and Tasha and Addie, and we picked up some stuff. And after we went to the play, we'll get to that in a minute. We went to the play, and then we went to Walmart, picked up some things we needed, and then Tasha was like, "Hey, while you're paying out, I'm gonna go to the bathroom." So I start scanning everything, and she's still right here. I'm like, "What do you do? I thought you had to go." She's like, "There's a sign. They had a water break. Water pipes burst or something. So the bathroom was out of order." I'm like, "Well, it's Walmart. Why would there?" But whatever. I mean, it got cold, so
yeah.
makes sense. And then today,
Man, that was a lot of water.
today I was hanging out with, waiting on a customer to show up to their new account out in PK, and Dylan was with me, and he goes, "So Walmart is flooded?" I go, "How'd you find that out?" He goes, "It's on Facebook. First thing that popped up." I was like, "Oh, weird." And so I pull up Facebook, and the first thing I see on Facebook is Walmart's on fire.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck?" And so I started looking at it, and nobody knows. Everybody's like, "What's going on?" Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so I text Tristan because he stocks Walmart, and so I text him, and he's like, "Yeah, they had a water pipe burst or whatever." And so he sent me a video, and I sent y'all that video. That water, just where the shopping carts are, was just gushing out. Apparently, it was on both sides of the store, though. Just gushing out. And so that set off the fire alarms. And that's why
I'd
people...
seen somebody earlier that said, "Is Walmart on fire?" And I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about? They ain't on fire." I was like at around McDonald's at the time, and I'm looking over. I'm like, "What the hell are they talking about? There ain't no smoke." That's what they were talking about. 'Cause people saw the.
So I don't want it to happen, but if it were to happen where Walmart caught fire,
Jesus.
obviously shut down,
Yeah.
how much bitching would then happen?
God.
Could you imagine the bitching on Facebook then?
God, especially one specific
What's
page.
taking so long? How come blah, blah, blah?
One specific page would. I've almost we know which one I'm talking about.
Is it the minerals discussion?
Discussion.
It's so bad. And all the anonymous
Damn.
posts.
It's just, hey, if you want to bitch about something, cool, but don't be a little bitch and hide behind anonymous stuff. If you feel that strongly that you got to put it on social media, your bitch needs to. Then put your fucking name, hotshot.
Yeah, just do it. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. I mean, that's the same shit with this social media shit where most of these people talk shit on this, but they won't go say it to somebody's motherfucking face. Because then there's actual repercussions that happen.
Yeah, when you do that.
And if they do, they'll be trying to fucking videotape you to press charges on your ass.
100%.
Bunch of pussies. It drives me crazy. But it does get entertaining watching that sometimes.
Dude, some of
The comments, are like, I'm just here for the comments.
100%. That's the only. I don't ever talk on those on that page, but I immediately, when I see anonymous and I see it starts getting controversial, I go straight to the comment section, and I'm just reading. There was one that I saw yesterday when I got home from work, and Tasha was fixing to start dinner or something, and so I'm just waiting to see if she wants me to help her, or if is there anything I need to do while you're doing that? Do you want me to start laundry or whatever? And she's always like, no, and maybe if you'll do this, and I'm okay. But one, it was like, so you can, it was anonymous. You can come on here and you can beg for money and you whatever, and you lost your kids or something like that, and it was but you don't have so much shame that you can't post yourself. And so there was a picture, and I clicked on the picture, and I don't know how long that post was up, But the minute I clicked on the picture and it came big, it was like, this post is no longer available. But it was a screenshot of their profile, I guess. And she's got like a thong on, and she's laid on the bed with her butt out.
Ooh.
And I was like, Tasha, look at this. But before I click OK, look at this. I go, I wish you could see the post because I was reading it and I wanted to see the
Damn.
comments. But I was like, number one, I want to know, do I know the person that they're taking a picture of or screenshot of or whatever? And I didn't. And then the minute I clicked OK, the post was gone. So I guess admin deleted it or whatever. And then the people that get on there and bitch, you're going to post anonymously, or, hey, admins, stop letting them post anonymously. And just, if it's allowed, it's allowed.
Most of the people that are posting anonymously are doing it to get a rise out of you.
Right. And I love it.
Yeah.
God, I'm there for it, dude. That's the stuff I like to see.
I'm not about to get in any kind of social media war with somebody because I just get pissed off and they'll be like, want to go find them. But so no, thank you. And I'm not airing my fucking dirty laundry on for the whole community to see. I mean, goddamn. But some people get, like I said, that's what the social media shit they get.
And it's always the same people commenting, good or bad, whatever it is.
Like I said, it's fun. It's entertaining. You ain't gonna see me fucking saying shit on this stuff.
No, I just read it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, though. It's so good. Tasha and I had, I'm not going to say an argument. We have a disagreement. So I wish David was here and I wish Facto were here because you can have an idea, but your house is not set up like ours. So your house, like our houses are open, like kitchen, living room, dining room, all like it's one big room, you know. Your house is very separate.
Yeah, it's
you have
old.
a separate kitchen.
It's old, so it's like that's how it was built.
Yeah, like you have doorways that go into each room.
Concept,
yeah. So, so there's a very defined. This is the kitchen, and this is where the kitchen ends, and this room begins.
Yeah, yours not so much.
So, like in David's house, my house, Facto's house, where does the kitchen end? And like, let's just talk about my house.
Okay.
Kitchen, big island. Where does the kitchen end and my living room begin?
In my brain, it would be like right after the big island.
Okay, so if this is the island and the living room is behind me, am I in the kitchen? If I'm standing right here,
if you're at the island,
yes,
I'd say you're still in the kitchen. But when you leave the distance on like a chair would take up,
okay.
Do y'all have a rug or anything?
No.
To me, when you get like
where
the couch is.
Okay.
There's a little space, right? Where you get to where the couch is, that's where the kitchen ends and the dining room begins.
So is there a hallway then? Would you say there's a hallway between the kitchen and
technically, maybe.
I mean, it's just open, but you would say this is an open area?
Yeah, the open space is like a walk path. I wouldn't...
Yeah, so
like
if I'm walking...
That's neutral zone.
If I'm walking to my back door from my front door, do I ever step foot in the kitchen?
I would think no.
Do I step foot in the living room?
You're walking down your hallway.
But there's not a hallway. But
to me, I would count it more as the living room than the kitchen.
Right. Okay, so I'm standing there in that spot. Now my hands are on the counter.
Okay.
But I'm not sitting on my island.
But you're at it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not belly up. I just have my hands on it. So I'm standing up, but my hands are on it. And I fart.
Okay.
And Tasha yells at me because I farted in the kitchen. And I told her, I'm not in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My ass is in the living room.
I agree.
And she told me this is the kitchen. And so that was so I wanted to see like.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Like.
Because you farted basically in that little hallway that I was talking about.
Right. And I say I'm not in the kitchen.
I agree.
Like Dave, if I was at his island, depending on what side, I'm living room. Well, I still think this, if you're standing with your back to his dining room table, he has room over here on the left side where I still consider that the kitchen because I think he does have a distinct because it's carpet.
Yeah, carpet. So he's got.
But in his kitchen dining room, it's not carpet, right?
Yeah.
So that I think there's a distinct. I'm in the living room. I'm in the kitchen. But then I think if you're on with the back to the dining room table, if you're on that side of the island, you're not in the kitchen anymore.
Yeah.
Facto kind of the same way, but depends on whether you're in the dining room or in the living room, depending on where you're sitting at.
I would say if you're sitting at the bar.
I think if you're sitting at the bar, you're in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
I agree. I think if you're standing up, you're not though. Now, if I'm standing up and I'm leaned over on the bar, you might as well be
Or if
sitting
you're
at the bar.
Or if you're standing up and eating,
Right.
then boom,
You're in the
doing
kitchen.
the kitchen.
Right.
So it kind of counts also to what are you doing?
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No,
because you could be standing there like this, and you wouldn't consider this. I'm just standing, or you can be standing there like eating.
right. I'm in the kitchen.
You're in the
No,
kitchen.
yeah. If I'm doing anything where I'm sitting down or I'm leaned up on or I'm eating,
But I think with the
I'm in the kitchen.
with the fart thing, I think you were right.
I think I was right too.
Tasha, he was right. He didn't fart.
Thank
he farted
you.
in the fake hallway.
Thank you.
The invisible hallway is what we'll call it from now on. And he
It's
farted
the
in-
neutral zone is where
Yeah.
I'm at.
He farted in the what they call it, internet. What do they call it when you're in a
International waters.
yeah international airspace? He farted in it. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not nor the living room nor the kitchen.
But it's definitely not the
But it's
kitchen.
not the kitchen.
Right.
It's a dead zone, as they say.
So another thing growing up, like we were taught, and by taught, my dad was like, you don't fucking do this. So number one, you don't come to the table without a shirt on. If you're sitting at the table
You're
and we're
wearing a shirt.
eating,
Yeah, you're
you
wearing
have a shirt on.
Yeah.
You don't come in your underwear. You have a shirt on. You have shorts or something on yourself. So you're not dressed, but you're not
Yeah.
naked. So that was a big thing. You don't, if it's time for dinner, you don't eat with your shirt off. You have pants or shorts or something on. And number two, whether you're eating or not, there's a few things you don't do at the dinner table. Blow your nose. You don't blow your nose at the dinner table, especially while other people are eating.
Yeah, that's gross.
So if you're eating and I'm sitting here going,
Yeah.
it's not
What's
nice.
wrong with you, sick bastard?
Yeah, right. Like I'm eating here.
Yeah.
So you don't do that. You don't fart at the dinner table. Because again, if we're eating,
Yeah.
if we're just sitting there bullshitting around, whatever, it's a
Yeah.
free for all. I guess do
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want to
Yeah.
do. But while somebody's eating, you're eating or they're eating, you don't do that.
No busting ass.
Right?
No.
Because I don't want to smell that, and
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that, and I don't want to
I don't
see
need
that.
just shit particles getting in my food.
Right. I've taught my kids the same thing at the dinner. We don't do that shit at the dinner table. You don't do it. So Tristan had come and he sat down at the dinner table. He was eating, and he got done eating. Me and Tasha we were finishing up eating, but we're still eating. And he farts at the dinner table.
Uh-oh.
This is Valentine's Day,
Uh-oh.
and I go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And Tasha goes, "Tristan," and she starts getting it. He goes, "What? I thought y'all were done." I go, "We have plates at the table. You don't fucking do that while we're eating." Almost 21 years old, still having to get on to him for that shit.
That was funny when I was at Chili's texting you. It's last night,
Yeah.
or right after work. It was like timed as soon as you said Tristan. Like as soon as I got the text from you saying Tristan's there, he was standing right there. I look and he's standing there, and that's why I was like, "Hey, smile real quick."
That's good times. So last night, speaking of, your daughter is in a play at the high school.
Frozen
Frozen Junior.
Junior. We watched.
You
it
went to it Wednesday.
We went opening that, and
I went Thursday night.
tonight's the last night.
So, and Tosh and I had already planned on. We thought it went through the weekend. And then we found out no, it doesn't. It's Fridays. It's done. So we were like, oh, let's go. So we went Thursday night, and great show.
Yeah, they did. I thought they did a good job with it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. The girl that played Elsa,
Was very good.
very good.
She can sing really
The girl
good.
that played Olaf,
Yeah, she was good.
very good.
Like I said, but everybody did a pretty.
I like the foam machine they used to make snow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty damn neat.
Yeah, I was wondering how they were going to do that, and kind of interesting. Like they had
The imagery,
they had the dancers
Yeah.
with the
the imagery of the dance.
Yeah.
So they had 3 dancers that were kind of like ballet dancers, and they were the snow or the
snow, like when she's doing her magic.
yeah.
because they had like the streamers.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat too.
Yeah, I was wondering how you're going to do this.
Right.
No, I thought it was. I mean, it lasted about an hour.
Yeah, that was perfect.
It was funny. I thought they did the Olaf. I mean the Yoo-hoo. That whole
not Sven. It was whatever that guy's name
they
was.
were pretty funny. The
Yeah,
family. And Audrey. I mean, Taylor's. You know, she had a big acting in it.
She did.
She did have one line.
She had one. Yeah.
She did have a line.
One line.
I told her after the first show, I said, spice it up, like do a British accent, like the next time. She goes, all I'm focused on is saying my line loud enough so people can hear me because they're not mic'd up. Right?
Yeah.
Just the main actors are mic'd up. Yeah, so she, like I said, not a big part. She just did it.
But she sang in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know she could sing.
Me neither. She still claims that she can't.
Well, she did, though. Unless she was just mouthing the words.
She looked like it pretty convincing.
Yeah. So on the stage at the beginning of it, so everybody comes out and they're singing the opening song or whatever. And where I was sitting, it wasn't on purpose. I just sat there, and Taylor was directly in front of me. Like I said, I was 6, 7 rows back, and she was directly in front of me. And I'm looking at her, and I felt like she was staring straight at me. So I'm like smiling, like cheesing real big, and like trying to see if
she wasn't seeing me.
She clearly did not see me.
She told me, she goes, I didn't see Daniel. And I read her text to you.
Oh, yeah.
About your description of the...
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I read it to her today when I was taking her back. I said, I'll just read it for the...
What did she say? She rolled her eyes?
Yeah, she laughed.
So we wouldn't watch Frozen.
And I asked Daniel, I said...
He goes, how was it?
Did you like it? Like what? And I'm like, roll my eyes. And this was your response.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. A couple of girls kept hogging the stage. I was yelling for them to let it go. Song title.
You're welcome.
I told them one day they'll find out that much like the stage, love is an open door. Another song title. Someone helped the Olaf the stage when it was done.
That was that was a stretch.
Yeah. But I got what you was... Yeah.
So it was supposed to be someone helped them all off the stage?
And another thing. Anna was a character. Anna. On another thing. I didn't get to get a pic with your daughter. I will the next time I see her. I'll see her, though, or Elsa.
I will the next time. I'll see her. I will the next time I see her, or Elsa.
Sven, it was done. They got a standing ovation. Well, then I said, it's kind of a fixer-upper. I threw a little...
I liked it.
Yeah. So that was your response.
Dude, I was laughing, and I showed Tasha before I pushed send, and she looked at me like I was an idiot.
Yeah. But no, they did a good job.
It was awesome.
So Taylor also... This is theater, but Taylor's also in one act. They're doing like a Greek tragedy play called Medina. That's what it's called.
Oh, I've seen those movies. Like
not that. Not the... This is Greek. This is Greek stuff.
Not Halloween.
No, not Medina's.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, not that. That's what I said. The same thing. She said. So I think it's called Medina. Taylor has a big role in that one. She's not the lead act, but she's a pretty big. So and it's the Greek stuff. So it's kind of hard to learn all that shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's one act. She was trying to explain to me like one act is different than like your typical play. Like everybody's on stage the whole time.
I was in one act play, and no, we weren't.
Yeah, she said this particular one they never come off stage.
Oh wow!
So she plays.
So there's no wardrobe changes or anything.
I guess not. All I know is her character is like Medina's the main character, and she's like kind of like a queen and the king. I don't know. Don't get me lying, but her husband Taylor is the mistress.
Ooh.
And apparently,
a little foreshadowing of her life.
And apparently, Taylor's character, Medina, the wife, murders her, like strangles her and burns her alive or something.
Oh God!
And I was like, "Is this going to be on there?" And she's like, "I don't know if they're going to like show it or if it's just going to talk about it." So she's got a big. And I think that's in like. I think that might be March when they're doing that one.
It sounds about right.
That's when like one act, you're competing.
Yeah.
Because she did one act. That's when we were so surprised, like how good she was at.
Mm-hmm.
She did one act, like.
Was it last year or was it junior high?
It was 8th grade, like junior high. And she was like, we were like, what the? Because it was funny, they did one where they were like mannequins.
Yeah. I remember
come to life.
Yeah.
And we, like, all we knew was Taylor was in this. She had told us she got one of the leads when we went and watched her. And if everybody knows my daughter,
She is up front and center.
And she's not like doesn't talk a lot, not really. But she told us she was in it, so we were like, okay. She rocked that freaking thing. She was hilarious and didn't, we were like,
Who is this?
like, God dang. So she's got a knack for actually acting, I think.
Well, so my daughter, she was like, I want to be in drama or whatever in junior high. I'm like, I don't know if they have that, but absolutely, yeah, you would be perfect for that. And then like I started seeing pictures of the one act,
I think
junior high one
they
act
just
stuff.
have like
Yeah.
one act stuff.
And I went, well, why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, I just couldn't remember any of the lines, and I really didn't want to do it anyway. So
So she's past that.
I'm like, yes, you.
She might get in like theater, like when she
Yeah,
gets in drama in high school.
I kind of hope she does, because I think she'd be great at it.
Yeah. Well, how Taylor got into it was she was going in the 8th grade for that one. She was going to like, say she'd be like the stage manager or something like that. And the director had saw her goofing around with some of her friends on stage and he said, you need to go for one of the leads. Like he told her, you don't need to be a stage manager. I want you to be an actor. So she's actually pretty. So she gets to. What's funny, she's staying pretty busy because between drama and one act and band, I swear that girl's at the school till 8:30, 9 o'clock every night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking something up.
So because she was there tonight for the last show.
Yeah.
She's got to be at school tomorrow at 6:30. They got solo ensemble
Oh,
for
yeah.
band.
Yep.
They go to Stephenville, I think. So she's got to be at the school at 6:30 tomorrow. I had to get her to the school. She was at the school for an hour today practicing solo ensemble. They had the lady playing the piano.
Yep.
Each one of them had like a window.
Yep, that they had to be there.
So she went and did that from like 1 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and picked her up and then took her back to the school at 5 for the play tonight.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be done with that about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Then I got to get her back to the school at 6:30 tomorrow morning, and she'll be gone till about 4.
Mm-hmm.
So she's staying. But she
Well,
loves
that's
it.
good
Like
for
I
her.
told her,
That's
as long as you can keep it up and you still like it.
And you said she found her niche, so.
Yeah, and she loves it. Like she likes the drama theater world, but she loves her band stuff too.
Yep.
And she's staying busy.
So I was looking up. So when we were in high school, I did one, and I think it was my senior year. I did one act play, and I know it's hard to tell by this physique now, but in school, I was very
You were in shape.
in shape, very muscular, very nice,
Very cut up.
Yeah,
nice and
very,
ripped,
very much.
Had hair.
Yeah, I had hair. So the teacher at the time in high school, do you remember who that was?
The drama teacher? I have no idea.
Betty Hawkins.
Okay. Knew
So-
it was a lady.
Yeah, little backstory, and I don't know that this is true. I was told this is true, and I was trying to look it up, couldn't find it. Bless you. Don't do it. Oh, I thought
No,
you were
I
about to
was-
sneeze.
I need to turn that one. I'm listening.
I was told Betty Hawkins was Darla in The Little Rascals,
Like the Darla?
but I don't know. Was there multiple iterations of Darla? I don't know, but I was trying to look up, or maybe she was just in The Little Rascals. I don't know.
Oh, that would be surprising if she was the actual real.
I don't think she was. I don't know. That's just what I was told. She was either she was in The Little Rascals or she was Darla from The Little Rascals.
Probably did like played her in like a play or something one time.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Darla.
But I always, I live thinking she's Darla from The Little Rascals, which
Sure.
I don't think that's it. But if it is, awesome. Love Miss Hawkins. But she had seen me somewhere. She was admiring my physique, but she was like, "Hey, I want you to be a one-act play." And I have no idea what the play was. All I remember, it wasn't my senior year, it was my junior year because Robert Veloz was in it. And he was my senior. But she wanted me to be a boxer,
Okay.
which means my shirt off, and we're boxing. And then I had zero speaking parts.
She kept saying,
Take it off.
I need you to come back to my office after.
Yeah, we need a little one-on-one tutoring. I'm going to teach you how to box. So that, and then,
my bog.
and then, and then, so that was that part, and then I was a bad guy being interviewed by a detective, and that was Robert, and he was slapping me around, and it was like a fake slap.
That.
And so I told Robert, I go, just fucking slap me.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Like, you're not going to hurt me. It's fine. And he slapped the piss out of me. But it was awesome.
For some reason, that sounds familiar.
But I enjoyed the shit out of it. But
did you have any speaking roles?
Yeah, so during that interview part, but then you have to shorten the show can only be so long.
Yeah.
So she has to pick and choose. So we just mimed that part.
So you really didn't.
Yeah, so I did.
Dang it, I would have liked you like your boxing. You could have done like a Rocky thing or something.
Anyway, but it's and like there's no real set.
Yeah.
It's just like big stacked boxes and cubes and rectangular stuff and that you use to create the set, and it's very. You have to imagine what's going on. It was pretty neat. I enjoyed it, and it was the one time I did it, and I don't know why I never did it again. But
I remember one year, I guess it was my senior year. So you were. They had they were doing Grease. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Mm-mm. It was our senior, and for some reason they went heavily recruiting like people that normally weren't in drama for the Grease play.
Well, that was me, yeah.
Everybody. There was so many people that were in it. So Richie they recruited Richie Crozier. They went after the quarter. Sean. They recruited a few others for the Greek. And I remember it was like really. Richie was playing Kaneki, kind of that cocky, you know. Sean was one of the T-Birds, and Sean even sang like with his guitar. He sang one of the songs.
Yeah.
I think Sheena Bonner was
better say it right. You son
Rizzo.
of a bitch. Okay.
And she was really good. Like I that's what I found out. I was like, I didn't know she could sing, and she could. Can't remember who played Sandy, but Ian Klein, who you might know him,
Yeah.
was the Jim Carrey. Like,
Yeah.
he played Frankie Avalon's character, the beauty school dropout, and he's supposed to be a guardian, like an angel.
Yeah.
And he comes up there and he's saying beauty school dropout, and I remember he's doing some pretty. And at the end, he just starts flapping his arms like wings, and they had him connect to a harness, and he like flew away, and he like went like this. I remember like they had recruited so many people because they needed like just tons of actors for this Grease thing, because it was like a big. But I remember it like was really good. Like the opening night, they did it like you were Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I remember there was like so many people talking about it, and I remember I was like almost jealous. I was like, should I ask? Nobody asked me. I want to be in this thing. It was like everybody's, but it was pretty good.
That's awesome.
I never did anything like that either.
Dude, I enjoy.
I wish I would have, but. But you know, in our day, when you looked at drama class, like that was it was thought of a certain way, right?
Well, yeah.
If you were playing,
well, because everybody was like, "Oh, they're thespians,"
and if you're playing like what we were considered like the jock preps or whatever, you know,
you couldn't be part of the thespian group.
Yeah, like being, but even though everybody got along with each other, we still had cliques, right? That's why it was so weird. People were kind of weirded out when I started dating a band nerd. Because they were like, band nerd.
What an idiot.
John Hendricks. I remember. He always called me Blunt. Hey, Blunt. Now you've seen that dude now. It's like, God dang, he's done fucking tours and everything.
Yeah.
Shows you how people change. But yeah, the Grease thing, I remember that was pretty good. And I remember being kind of like, man, I wish I was in this.
I had a great time, dude. It's
you just have to let loose. You have to.
But that's what I was gonna say. It's a whole new world. You cannot be uptight about it, and you just have to immerse yourself into it.
You could tell if somebody's not fully
committed.
and they're
Right.
still reserved. You
Well,
have to just say.
That's why people don't
Hey,
become actors. You
You
know,
have to say just fuck it, like
Yeah.
go. And that's why I was surprised that Taylor can do that, because I would see her being like so reserved and just the bare minimum, almost like.
just get me
But
through
she
this.
goes full on.
I love it, dude.
So I'm curious to see what that one act. I'll tell you when it happens,
Yeah,
because they usually they'll do it here first,
before they go to
and
contest.
then they'll go do like. So yeah, that and great that's a different level. That's like, I bet the lines and everything aren't easy to.
So I told this story a long time ago on the podcast when we were talking about embarrassing moments in our life. And I said we were at a competition, and I remember now it was one act. And we're sitting there, we're playing cards, and there's a good looking girl that liked me, and I thought she was good looking, and we're playing cards, and I had to fart, and I was going to get up to go to the bathroom so I could go fart, and I just kind of moved as though I was going to get up, and it just goes,
Oh no!
and I was like, holy shit.
No. Oh shit!
Oh, very embarrassing at the time. Now I don't give a shit.
No, I can remember the first time I farted in front of Chess. We were dating. I never would like, you know you're dating a girl at the beginning. You ain't gonna take a shit or anything at her house. So I'd stay at her house, till, 10 to midnight. So by the end of the night, usually it's hitting me where I gotta poop. Like my dad said, knew many times when he just heard like the back door kick open and just heard like footsteps running towards the bathroom. He knew it was me just making it. It was one of them nights where we're leaving on the front porch, saying our goodbye, our hugs and kisses goodbye, and I remember I'm like,
Let go. I
and
gotta go.
I remember I like hugged her and it just came out.
She squeezed a little too tight.
Yeah, and we both just started laughing. But that was the first time and after that it was all right.
Game on.
Didn't ship for a while still at the house because
Well, that's a whole
it's a
nother.
different animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can remember farting. We both laughed. I mean, we were graduated at the time because I was living with Dad. Right after graduation, I farted.
God, that's awesome.
It was a good one too.
Such
Like
good
it was
stories.
It was a good one. Like
Such good stories.
not just a little one. It was like like a pretty good one. I had to shit really bad.
So,
There's so many nights I'd drive home from her, like doing the.
oh yeah,
Oh God,
just
dude.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, just so many nights because
just hurry up and get home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tasha, I've got a sad story to tell.
Oh, good. Let's bring the room down.
Well, I mean, we already talked about faces of
I
death.
know, God.
One sad story to tell. I want to send out get well soon wishes to my dog Toby.
Uh-oh.
What's that place we went to? Trader's Village.
Okay.
The dog we got from there.
Yes.
Get well soon, Toby.
What's wrong with them?
Well, he went to the vet yesterday,
Oh, no.
and he got his balls cut off.
Oh, fuck.
So Tasha did not get very much sleep last night because he was uncomfortable.
God.
They gave us, I guess pain medicine, or whatever they give to dogs. I don't know. And so, like, when he came home after, he was still kind of a little loopy
Yeah,
from the medicine. They got that big fucking cone on
What
his
kind
head.
of dog is he?
King Charles.
Spaniard.
Yeah, he's a
They look like Cocker Spaniels.
he's a Cavapoo, which is Cocker Spaniel. He's a Cavalier, King Charles Cavalier Cavapoo or whatever they're. Anyways, Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix Cavapoo. Long name for just he's a mutt.
Bastard.
He's a mutt is what he is, right?
A nutless mutt now.
Right now he's anyway. So he's he's loopy, but then like you're supposed to give him more medicine. At this time, it's her dog, so I'm letting her take care of all that. And so she gets in a little bit later. Tasha's like in bed, making sure because he's got the cone, so he doesn't lick himself.
Yeah.
But then we have all the other dogs that want to know.
Yeah,
Number one, why do you have that on your stupid head?
Yeah.
And
Why are you wearing the cone of shame?
I can smell whatever's going on
I'm
down
gonna
there.
lick that. I'm gonna lick it.
They want to lick it,
Yeah.
right? So Tasha's like keeping it. So I go in there and he's got both his front legs like spread way the fuck out, And he kind of looks up at me, and
He's
they're just glassed over. So I know he was feeling great.
the stoned out of his mind.
Oh yeah. But he didn't. He was just very restless last night, and
I can imagine.
so Tasha didn't get much sleep last night. I didn't get much sleep last night, and
I
I
mean,
needed
we're
to
both.
get better soon so I can have some sleep.
I mean, we're both fixed.
Mm-hmm. So the night before, I go, buddy, you don't know what your mom has going on for you tomorrow, and I want you to know I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
You're gonna go through a transition. She wants you to be a female now, and he's just looking at me like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
And then the next
what?
thing's like, oh.
But then, so I'm talking to him, and then all of a sudden, he just fucking gets the zoomies, and he is just just whipping around the fucking
Be like,
house and just.
So you won't be doing this for a while.
yeah.
Jesus.
Um,
Poor bastard.
Yeah, so he's got his balls cut off, and he doesn't know what to do. And he has the cone on, so he's always trying to scratch at his head.
So that's driving me crazy, too.
So you hear on the cone, and so I'll get in there and I'll start.
Is it a plastic one?
Yeah.
Because they gave, when we had our cat fixed, they gave him like a, it's one hell of a vibrator. They gave him like, the cone wasn't plastic, it was like,
Like a collar that's puffed up that you blow up.
no, it wouldn't blow up, but it wasn't made of plastic, it was made of like, kind of a softer material.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I ain't never seen one of those before.
So Dwight, no, I'm pretty sure all dogs, but Dwight hated the cone, just fucking hated it. So we went and got it's like a blow up collar. So it's big enough to where he can't, but it doesn't go around his
Yeah.
head. And that's another thing. Dogs, their hearing is so great. Do you think in a cone that sound is just amplified because it's going straight in there?
Probably. That's to drive him crazy. What?
That's his.
I know, but I didn't think it usually lasted that long.
I don't know.
But probably
Yeah.
like doing something.
He's
Yeah.
he's not here.
No.
Anyway, so I'm just I need him to get better so we can get the cone off his head and he can just go run
Yeah.
around. And
He'll be. I mean, they're pretty fast. I think healers.
they say
As long as you gotta wear the cone.
they say 10 to 14 days.
Jesus Christ!
Right, but if you can get him to wear it, 7 to 10
Yeah.
days, that's.
You know, many people probably don't fuck with that. Like after
Well,
the first couple of days, they ditch it.
I know one guy that he went and had something done to one of his dogs, and while they're there telling him how long the dog has to wear the cone, he starts pulling the cone off, and they're like, no, he needs to wear it for 10 to 14 days, and he's like, yeah, no, it's my dog, I'll do with what I want to. But his dogs also listen extremely well, or his dog at the time listened extremely well. So
Who was this?
Nick Perini,
Oh, okay.
I think it was Grady.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, I got
yeah,
this.
he's like, it's my dog. You don't.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
got
care of
this,
my
yeah.
dog the way I want to
Yeah.
take care of my dog.
Yeah.
Uh,
That sounds like Nick.
And so I
would say.
texted Tasha. I was like, just take it off of him. She's like, no. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Give him at least 3 or 4 days. It'd be all right. Take it off.
yeah.
How long's he had it on now?
Well, today's day number 1 with a
Damn.
full day.
God.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
I just feel so bad for him because, like, I don't like when I had it done. I could tell you, hey, I'm in pain. Hey, I'm
Plus, you didn't have to
uncomfortable.
wear a cone, or maybe you did.
I did wear a cone, but just down there.
I kept ice on it the whole time. Like,
Ice? You didn't do a bag of peas?
I did all kinds of stuff.
So
Like when the bag of peas.
I took a big bag of peas and cut it in half
because people kept telling
and
me
rotated them.
that everybody that had it done before me, anybody that had the horror stories of
I had that.
Facto did, have a good story. And the guy worked. Everybody told me that had the bad story that they made the mistake of trying to do too much because you feel fine, and
You pay for
after
it
about
immediately.
a day or so, you go to do and then your balls swell up the size of grapefruits, and it just a lot of pain. Everybody I talked to was like, they were like, don't. You're gonna feel like after a day you're gonna feel like you're fine.
Yeah. But
And-
you also they give you a little bit of pain
But,
medicine, but
They're like, you're gonna feel like you're fine, but don't.
yeah.
So I was like, my goal was to keep them things as shriveled up as I could. Constant cold. I had it done on a Friday
Me too.
and didn't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed in a recliner with them iced down till Monday. Going back to work.
Loose shorts.
See, they told me to wear tight clothes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like, either wear briefs or a jock strap. Don't let them hang loose. Because I wore boxer briefs, and they were like, no, you either need to wear like briefs or you want support. They said you don't want to have. I thought about getting a jock strap just to wear it.
Yeah.
But instead, I found like bikini cut, brief underwear colored ones.
Yeah.
I just walk around the house in them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
really high rise ones. It was sexy. No, they told me to keep it supported. I should have bought a jock strap.
Maybe they did that. It's been so long now. So you had it done on? Do you remember what day you had it done on?
No, I have no clue.
So I remember the day, and I know it was a Friday. I'm gonna double check this before I lie to you, but I am 99.9% sure it was 2004.
What's funny is I bet you.
Nope, it was. Hold on, Tristan was 2.
I remember
He was
you got
born,
it done pretty early.
2005. 2004. Let me see. God, I'm about to lie to you. Okay, no, it was 2005. I had mine done on a Thursday, so I did it Thursday, took off Friday, Saturday, and then off Saturday, Sunday. That way I get an extended time off rather than just 2 days. I took the extra day. Mine was done Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that's why you remember it.
Yeah, so I had it done on Cinco de Mayo, which was a Thursday, May 5th, 2005. Because Tristan was 2 years old when I had it done. And I took off. So this is my horror story. I took off. Monday I come back to work, and they're like, don't lift more than 25 pounds. Well, I'm in the beer business, and we have to lift cases of beer and stock cases of beer. And I was a salesman at the time in Granbury. And so they just sent somebody with me. And they're like, they're doing all the work.
You just tell them what to do.
You tell them what to do. You make your orders.
And then, of course.
Yeah. And so I just felt bad because this guy's doing all the work, and I'm just standing back watching him do all the work. And I felt bad. Like I'm not the guy that's just going to sit back and let you do all the work. Right. And so, and it was taking forever because this is a guy that's never been out there. And so I'm just like, here, take this. And I'm just throwing beer and stocking shit and fucking all day long, just moving cases. And a case of beer is not 25 pounds. But when you move multiple cases of beer throughout an 8 to 9 hour day,
you did way too much. And what happened?
So I go home, and I'm like, oh, I feel fine. I feel fine, no problem. And then Tuesday, I still feel fine, a little sore. Well, Wednesday, I was fucking in so much pain, just the worst pain ever. And you're right, you swell up. And it turns black.
Yeah.
It's
same thing happened
so bad.
Matter of fact, though, I think he did similar stuff because he was in the beer business too. And So I'd heard all these stories, so I was already prepared. So like I said, I kept ice on them bitches for 3 straight days, keeping them bitches shriveled up as I could. And I just kept it. I took it. I didn't do anything.
The doctor that did mine, he was like, he told me a bag of peas. Like take a large bag of peas, cut it in half, and make 2 bags. So you constantly have one frozen and one on you, but he said peas because they're small enough that even when frozen, they don't freeze but some of them will freeze into a big clump, but they'll still kind of form around, and as they thaw, and they're still kind of. But anyway,
I had peas and ice, so I know what day.
I never used ice.
August 29th, 2019.
Oh, so it was not too long ago.
I mean 5 years,
6 years ago.
But yeah. That was the picture, and I stayed like that. That was when we got back.
Who took that picture? Chess?
So take a picture of it. But I mean, you really wasn't. You build it up in your head on getting it done. That's going to be like because somebody's cutting into your nuts.
And did you see the smoke when they were cauterizing it?
I was trying not to. So I was like,
I wanted to watch.
You're fucking weird.
But also, you can't lift up. Because they say it. Yeah, they want you to lay back with your head back. So I'm kind of looking down across my body. I remember
they gave like a
Valium.
mild Valium to take before. And I remember taking that, and it didn't do
nothing.
I didn't feel anything. So you go in there, and I remember doctor come and talk to me for a second. He goes, "Okay, let's get you prepped up and drop your pants, right?"
Mm-hmm.
It feels kind of weird because I still had like my shirt on
Mm-hmm.
and no pants. Looked like
Donald
a
Duck.
giant baby. Yeah. And I remember this big old nice black lady come in there, real nice lady, but she's like, "Honey, child, we'll get you fixed up." But she's the one that was taping it and everything, and it just felt so awkward.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
'Cause you know they got to tape everything and stuff don't get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was trying to lay on my back and just play on my phone or something.
Well, they told me I couldn't have my hands up. My hands
Oh
had to
man,
stay
he was
down.
like, take your phone in there with you. He goes, so I'm trying to play on my phone, laying on my back, but I couldn't. Like it's like I can't focus on anything I'm doing.
You're fixing to cut my nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, you feel a lot of pressure and tugging and stuff. But besides the initial shot, you don't really feel a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
and it wasn't that bad.
The initial shot sucked.
Yeah, this shot feels like a really big kick to the nuts. But after that, it numbs pretty fast.
Yeah.
You don't really feel anything. You feel pressure, and you know he's doing shit in there and tugging around and burning shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't watching. I'm just on my back, just laying on my back. So I never had any complications because I took it way easy.
Smart.
So I never had any problems. Mine was easy. My uncle, on the other hand, my Uncle Scott, he has his story is awesome. So he got his done, I don't know, early 90s. And for some reason, guys on my side of the family, like him and my uncle Kenny, they're brothers, they act very strange under anesthesia. Scott thought, because they kind of used anesthesia back then, like it was, I don't know, they did something. He thought he was like having a baby, like get the camera and stuff, like acting like a lunatic. And said he could drive fine after, like he drove himself or whatever, you know.
Oh God, no.
Ran over the mailbox and shit. But he had he always talks about he knew something wasn't going right when they told me it was going to take like 20 minutes. And it took like almost an hour. And he swears at one point the doctor was like,
Oh my God.
when he tells the story, he says the doctor's like,
Oh my
One
God,
foot
just
up, you know?
yanking on it.
yeah, like, so something didn't go right where he said his ball swelled up like a grapefruit. He said it was like instant horribleness. I remember he was singing Love Hurts, you know the song, but he was singing My Balls Hurt. So he had like the worst story I've ever heard. But yeah. So I'd heard all these stories, so I was like, but finally I was like, a guy at my work had an accident baby where both his sons were like around my girls' ages, a little older, but they had the same. One of his sons was like 12, and one of them was like 10, and they had an accident baby.
Oh God, yeah.
And when that happened, I was like, all right, I can't have it. I don't want to, because my girls were like similar. I was like,
Start
I don't want to have
over.
God, can you imagine? But then he did get his girl. He had 2 boys and finally got his girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always held on. I was like, do I want to try a third to try for that boy, you know?
Not if
And
you're
then-
waiting that long.
And then when the girls got to a certain age, I think they were like 10 and 8. 10 and, you know, I was like, I couldn't imagine starting over again.
Mm-mm.
Let's just do it.
Mm-mm.
Let's just get it done.
Oof. So you talked about taping.
Yeah, they
Out
got
of-
to move stuff out of the, yeah.
Right. So my doctor was a funny guy, apparently.
Who was your doctor?
Dr. Dowling,
Where was he at?
out of Weatherford. This guy, apparently he's Mr. Funny Man.
Oh,
So I don't know if your doctor,
yeah, he was the same.
glasses with they have those
Yeah,
magnifying
yeah.
things that are on the glasses. So he comes in there and the nurse shaves you up, you know, and so he comes in there and he's like, well, let me just see what we got going on here. And he puts those glasses on. He's like, oh, there it is. He goes, I put these on for everybody. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, I'm just a funny guy. Oh.
And I'm like, okay. He was like, all right, I'm going to let her finish up. And they they clean you from nipples to knees. They
Yeah.
just
Weird.
sanitize everything.
It's such a weird
so
feeling.
much, man.
because you're just exposed. Like,
Yeah, and so they just have the nurses in there,
somebody was telling
which was the
Chad-
weird part, right? Because you
Yeah.
have the nurses in
Yeah.
there, and my nurse was pretty good.
Well, I
looking.
remember he had one that was pretty hot, and I was thinking, oh God.
But you always had to have two in there,
But
especially with the girl, and the guy.
but
So you had to
there
have
was
two
no-
people.
there was no threat of getting when you're fixed to get
At
your
all.
nuts cut.
Just
there's no.
zero. But it was very weird having somebody else's hand on there.
Yes. Just grabbing it nonchalant.
Yeah,
and
just like moving it out of the
yeah,
way.
just
And
grabbing it.
I'm like, easy,
Yeah.
like
Hey,
easy. I mean, I don't mind a little rough, but come on,
come on, easy. It's not a hot dog.
So shave it up, clean you from knees to nipples, and it's just so weird. And so the doctor comes in there, didn't tape me up, rubber band around it. What are those? Not forceps, but the ones that clamp onto things.
Uh-huh.
Put the rubber band through there and rolled my shirt up and clipped it up here.
Huh.
I'm like, that's a little much, doc. I mean, what are we doing? He's like, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's not going to fall off or anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, funny man.
Yeah,
Let's
joke.
let's get
With
the
your
damn.
fucking jokes. Let's do this.
And so I'm laying there and like I cross my arms like across my chest, and I'm like, he goes, well, you can't do that because it kind of pulls up the vest. And I'm like, so what? He goes, just have them down your side or have them over your stomach or something. I'm like, okay. And so I'm just arms on my side, and I'm trying to watch because I can't lift my neck up because apparently that pulls it up or whatever. And so he goes, with like the knitting needle, he pulls one out and cuts it, and then he cauterizes it, and you see the smoke coming up. And he goes, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I'm like, what? He goes,
Oh man, what an ass.
he goes, I'm just messing with you, man. Don't take everything too serious. And I'm like,
Go to hell. You got stuff around
I'm
my
like, you're
balls right now.
making jokes while you're burning my nuts off. I mean, I enjoyed it, but at the time,
He's just trying to.
but I'm also the guy that in a serious situation makes stupid
Yeah,
jokes.
he's just trying to keep
So.
it light.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't as bad. Like I said, you build up in your head thinking it's going to be way worse than what it was. It really wasn't that
No.
bad. It was more awkward than anything.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, people are handling your shit.
Mm-hmm.
When I told Chas about it, she's like, good. Because she's like, now you know how we feel like anytime being up in
Stirrups.
stirrups
Oh,
or,
yeah.
you're fully exposed to And I was like, yeah, but most of the time that's just you and your female doctor. Her
Gynecologist.
Yeah, but she goes, no, but that's how you feel exposed like to the world, and you got a little taste of it, and you don't like it.
In stirrups. I had my feet up in stirrups.
They didn't put me in stirrups.
I was in stirrups,
Yeah, they
which
didn't,
was also, I'm like,
yeah, that feels really. I don't remember them putting me in stirrups. I don't think.
I was like,
could have
what,
been because I was like,
I go, what's happening here?
because I remember I wasn't paying attention. I was like, not looking down there, just laying there. I think most of the time I was laying there with like my eyes closed.
Yeah.
I just was not. Hell, I knew one guy that was trying to videotape it with his phone and was able to.
If I had thought of it, or if I could have said, "Hey, do you have somebody that can video it?"
I was like, I don't want to see this shit.
I would have had them do it too.
But he was able to videotape it. Like the doc was letting him hold the phone up. Like, while they're doing it to himself. I'm like,
But I'm also the guy that wants to. I have to see myself get a shot. Like I want to watch it happen.
I mean, shots don't bother me, so
No, they don't bother me.
I can.
But I'm just too afraid that I'm gonna flinch, and then I'm gonna have the needle broken off in me, and then that's just a whole nother shit that I don't want to deal with. And
People can't do that shit.
yeah, so I have to. Like a lot of people don't want to watch, but now I'm the guy that makes a joke that I'm scared of needles and I pass out.
Oh, so you say that?
I tell they're like, all right, so are you okay with it? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just want you to know I'm afraid of needles and I have a tendency to pass out. And they're like, oh my God, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I probably passed out almost every time I've had a needle put into me. And then you kind of see the worry on their face. And then I go, no, I'm just joking with you. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll be just fine. And they don't they don't find it as funny
Yeah.
as I do. But now, like, especially through work, we get blood draws and stuff. I've said it to all these ladies so many times. They're like, we get it.
Yeah,
we know.
We get it funny, man.
Yeah, we get it funny.
Now,
And
my
now,
dad-
now I'm the funny man.
Now, my dad is one of them guys that. He can't take, like, needles and shit. If you know my dad, he's a big fucker.
Slide it back this way. I zoomed in on us.
Oh. If you know, my dad's a pretty big guy. Looks like a bear. Mm-hmm. But he's a puss when it comes to them needles, boy. Like, he's one of them guys that will, like, get feeling lightheaded and pass out and shit. His big ass.
Really?
And he has had a lot of work done, like blood work and stuff done because of his health problems. Needles fuck him. Like, his big ass is softy. He can't watch because if he sees, like,
He may pass out.
yeah,
Didn't know
he has before.
And I like to watch it again because I want to make sure that I don't jerk.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody to be like, oh, here you go, and I'm like, oh God, what's that,
Yeah, needles have never bothered me too much, so
No,
I can watch them take blood. Some people can't watch that. You're like,
no, I watch it every time. I like to see it.
but when they gave me the shot, the most painful shot I ever had, besides the ones in the nuts, was when I broke my pinky knuckle, and they had to give me shots in my hand. Mm-hmm. I remember he come out and just jamming this big needle, like,
Hitting bone.
yeah, and I'm like, I remember that was like so painful. It was so painful that when he moved it and said, "Do you feel that?" I could still feel it a little bit, but I told him no because I was like, I don't want,
I don't want that anymore.
And then he had to reset it, and I wish I'd have told him because he had to grab it and because the knuckle was behind, and they had to reset it. Mm-hmm. That's when I had my mom just slap me in the face in the emergency room. I had to get charged up
Oh,
because he's like, "We got to reset it." And I just turned to my mom. I was like 16, so and I go, "Slap me." She's like, "What?" And I said, "I need to get." So she kind of,
she barely did it.
and I was like, "No, slap me." So she hauled off and finally slapped me, and I just turned to that doc and go, and he did it. I bet he thought we were lunatics.
This family's psycho.
And I remember then he's like, "Okay, set it, and we wrap it. All right, let's go back to X-ray." And I'm like, "Why?
Gotta make sure it's right.
If it ain't reset right, we got to do it again." I remember thinking, "Please God."
Be right.
And it was. But then there's always stories like Jody. One day when I busted my head open in like junior high, they had to take me to the ER to get like staples put in. Jody was watching and got to feeling nauseous because she was watching them put staples in my head. So then you have me laying in the hospital bed and my sister laying in the hospital bed next to me, and they're bringing her water and shit because she blacked out watching them put staples in bed. Like, why were you watching?
I would have watched her though, but,
Yeah, but look
I'm not gonna get. I'm not
But
gonna.
she was like, they're bringing her water, and she's like, "Oh," I'm like taking all the attention away again. Got staples in my fucking head.
Oh God, that's awesome. So I had again. I mean, you can see my knuckles. This
Yeah.
one's a little, I'm missing a knuckle,
Yeah.
and then this one's over
Really big,
calcified or whatever. This is a normal, but
Uh-huh.
still not. So I broke the middle, the ring finger on this hand, and you can see I've got 2 scars right here. So what they had to do is put pins across my hand to keep the bone set.
Yeah.
And so, but that was surgery. So they had to knock me out. So they gave me like pain medicine and an IV and knocked me out.
Yeah.
And then they did the surgery, or not pain medicine. Yeah, pain medicine. And then they took me anesthesia and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't feel shit. Have you ever had pins taken out? Like
No.
pins that are put in and taken out?
Never had to get like the stuff I got put in were like permanent, like you don't see them, like they're in there.
So I broke the middle finger on this hand and had pins sticking this way
Damn.
through them. That was when I was with Sean and we got into that fight. It was this hand. And then a few years later, this one. And both of them, the pins were sticking out on the side and then straight through the knuckle. The worst feeling, because so now it's time to get them out. Your bone's good. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Now it's time. They don't deaden you.
No, they just yank them out.
the doc comes in there, and like these were like in an L shape on the outside, and this knuckle it was just had like a ball at the end of it, and so but either way they take it and they start spinning it, so it's breaking off everything that
The
was
skin
connected.
grow to it and everything.
Not just the skin, but the bone inside.
God damn.
And so they start, and you can feel it. It doesn't hurt,
But you can feel
but
it.
you can feel all that stuff kind of breaking off. And so they keep spinning it until it starts spinning freely, with no really resistance.
They just pull
And
it
then they just go whoop and yank it out. And so
That's
it went
weird.
through. I mean, you can see how long. I mean, it went through all three.
Damn.
It didn't go through my pointer
Yeah.
finger, but it went through the other three. And then this one went all the way back because I broke. It was like right in the middle of my hand, so I had to come all the way back, almost to my wrist where it
Damn.
starts bending. Dude, the weirdest fucking feeling ever. Because it doesn't hurt, but you can feel everything they're doing.
It's a weird feeling when they take the staples out of your head.
I've had that done.
Because it don't hurt, but you feel like,
Yeah.
you can feel it like.
Mm-hmm.
When they took the stitches out of my arm
I've never had stitches.
for this one,
Yeah.
you can see you could see the marks of the stitches.
Yeah.
They were the big,
It's like laces of the glove. Yeah.
big,
lays on the ball.
thick, black Frankenstein looking stuff.
But now they use ones that dissolve.
Well, these ones they could, like some of them they can still use, but these were big Frankenstein because they had to make sure they couldn't use dissolvable ones because they didn't know how long they were going to have to stay in
Oh.
because it was such a. So I remember I had to wear like just a brace thing wrap till the stitches. I couldn't get a cast till the stitches come out.
Yeah.
And I remember they had to stay in like a week longer than what he thought. So then it's time to get these stitches out. And I remember like they had kind of grown to the skin. The skin was kind of growing to them because they were in there a little longer. So when he's pulling out,
You
and
could feel it.
and the position that I had to have my arm in hurt like a motherfucker. I remember it felt like forever. I remember it was like constant pain, and it felt like forever when he was pulling those stitches out. My mom said I was turning like white because I'm just like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had blisters here. There was a big old blister, and he's like, "Yeah, sometimes with fractures or breaks, you develop blisters, but we got to get rid of the blisters before you can put a cast on."
Yeah.
So I think Cooley's just gonna pop them. And that guy he's like the nurse dude, older guy. He goes, "Okay, we gotta get rid of the blisters," and I'm like, "Okay," and he just reaches up and pulls it,
Oh my
like
god.
without even he just reaches up, grabs it, and rips it off.
Oh.
And I remember at that point, that's when I yelled, "Motherfucker!" And I look at him, and he goes, "I worked with burn victims a lot." He goes, "It's better just to do it and not let you even know it's coming."
Yeah.
There was no good doing countdown shit and everything, so I
Just do it.
so he just. But I remember like that. It even peeled off like a little strip of good skin came with it. You know, that was pretty intense. Then I got a cast, but they gave me a full cast from all the way to here for that pinky knuckle to stabilize it.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like a weird wrap where they wrapped it but I had to have a cast all the way up to. I was like, I
Almost-
gotta wear a fucking full arm cast for a pinky knuckle.
I've had a few casts, but the biggest one I had it went around my hand because I had broke my wrist and fractured wrist and elbow. It was my left one, but it wasn't completely. But it wasn't. It was too much to not do something with, and not enough just to leave it.
Yeah.
So they had to complete the break on my wrist and my elbow,
Fuck.
reset everything, and then put me in a cast.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was the same for you, but because my elbow's in that L shape for forever, what seemed like forever, when they cut the cast off,
You could
and it felt like somebody was trying to pull my arm every time
see, mine was just up to here, so I didn't have.
yeah. But even your wrist though, I mean,
Oh yeah, that was I had no grip strength.
yeah.
Um,
And it's
I
like
remember
this
it
big
looks,
and it
yeah,
stinks.
I remember it looked so puny compared to my arm. It looked
Yeah.
like dead.
Yeah.
It looked like it was like a corpse. I was like, but you just strengthen it back up.
Mm-hmm. Didn't take long, did it?
'Cause I remember I went to the first physical therapy and they had this grip machine. Like, okay, let's get a measurement with your left. And I gripped it and measured. I don't know. What
8,000 out of 100,
I
yeah.
can't remember. It said like a certain number. I think it was like one in the 100s, 135
yeah.
something. And I gripped this one and it said 5. And I'm gripping with
Everything.
like I'm trying and it goes like it barely moves. And I was like, oh my God. Like, we'll get you back up. You might not ever be like full like you were before, but we'll get you. And eventually it got up to you know, almost to my left, but not quite.
Which is weird because you're right-handed, right?
Yeah, but I learned how to do a lot of things with my left hand.
Wipe
a lot
your
of
ass.
things. Wiping the ass was the hardest fucking thing.
But that's twice in your life you had to do
Yeah, that was the hardest. I forgot how hard. I had a harder time this time when I had that shoulder surgery. I was like, this feels so awkward. Trying to. I was going to tell Chess to get the water hose and just spray me because I was having a difficult time. It was.
that. Well, your left hand doesn't know where it's at.
Yeah.
Like your
I'm
right
gonna
hand
get
does.
shit all over myself. But no, I had to learn how to do a lot of things left-handed because hell, it's just like I've had 2 casts on this hand and the shoulders. Everything I've done is to this one arm.
Right.
Pinky knuckle,
Wrist.
fractured my wrist when I was younger. Broke this bone shit from that.
Mm-hmm. Then
And
your
the
shoulder.
The only thing that hasn't been touched is my elbow.
Keep it that way.
And it'll be fucked, probably. I'm just thinking when I'm older, this whole fucking...
It's going to hurt so bad.
Because I already am noticing sometimes
Arthritic.
when I grab shit, like it won't work right. Like, man, I can't really grab that right. Or I can't really... Like, I'll switch to left hand to open jars instead of right. Like, my left hand's like
Wow.
stronger.
Take my good hand.
And I'm like, I'm fucked. I'm only 43. What, 63 years old? I won't be able to use this damn thing. Sucks getting old.
Oh, it does. But it's part of life, man. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything else?
No?
I've had to pee this whole time.
Oh, you haven't, though.
I
That's
have.
good.
I haven't, though. So I guess we're done.
Yeah, I guess so.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.